Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Wow, coming off a wonderful weekend. I'm your host, Jeff Iafrate. Alongside me, filling in for Sam Flannel, who will be back tomorrow, is my guy, Booner. Booner, how was your weekend, by the way, before we get to anything else?
It was beautiful. I didn't really do much. I just worked all weekend and played some golf.
See, that sounds like a solid weekend, though.
Where'd you play golf?
Just by my house. No one probably would. I bet you 0 people in the chat. Anyone would probably know.
It's okay.
It's like just a small, like, one of those like $15 golf courses that I can.
Try me.
It is called. Okay, I forgot.
All right, you know what though? We're happy to have Booner alongside me. I love him.
JB, football.
JB in the booth, coming off SummerSlam this weekend. You were there Saturday, right, JB?
Oh yeah, I was there, man. It was fun. Got to go down on the floor. Braylon actually hooked me up. Shouts out to Braylon and Tom Masway for hooking me up with tickets to go. But man, it was fun. I got to tell you.
Yeah, the whole crew was there. Braylon was down there. D-Mac was down there. Man, SummerSlam. Did Logan Paul? He showed up there as well.
No. So Logan Paul, I know his brother had a fight that night as well too. So his match was the first match, so he could leave and go to see his brother as well. So when he got to the fight, he was actually still in costume.
Oh, geez.
Or in his ring attire, I should say.
That's commitment.
Logan Paul is like that in the WWE ring. I went back and watched some highlights. That man does like triple flips.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
And he did
I can't
that.
do one flip.
He did all that, hopped on a PJ, and went and watched his brother over in Texas. Gabrielle D. Phillips joining us as usual. How was your weekend, Gabby?
It was great. You know, had some decent weather on Saturday, so that's always good. Wish this rain would go away, but we're working with it, and hopefully it's gone by the time I'm back down at camp tomorrow.
Yeah, and they got nothing today. Lions are off today, and then they get resumed for joint practices with the New York Giants, I believe. Which can't wait for that. It'll be good. Lucas in the TD booth. What's going on, Lucas? You got a haircut? You're feeling good?
I'm feeling good.
Hey, I was in your territory this weekend.
Yeah, you were. Got some new kicks over the weekend.
Those things are beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, those are fresh.
Someone bought them for him,
Took a
actually.
nice piece with me there. Had a good time. Then me and Chris Platty went and saw Oppenheimer yesterday. That was actually a pretty good movie. A little long, but good.
How was it? Was it good?
Give it like an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, there was just a little bit too much
Toppenheimer?
talking for me. Yeah, Oppenheimer, Toppenheimer,
A
same
little
thing.
bit too much talking in the movie.
Can
Can you
It's a
explain
movie.
that a little bit further?
Yeah,
I
you
like Oppenheimer better.
This is just a rumor too. You had a date this weekend.
Yeah, we're not going to get too much into it, though.
Oh.
I mean, it wasn't like it was bad, but I'm not trying to fucking leak all my info out
All
there.
right.
And if it
I
doesn't
had a
turn
date
out,
as well.
3 months later, I have another date, and then they come back. And like, oh, what happened there? What happened there? So just leave it as it is.
Hey, it's all good.
I got it, yeah.
Steve Wild says, did y'all kiss after the movies, you and Chris?
No.
All
Nope,
right.
nope.
Just
Chris
making
did
sure.
drive me home, though.
Did you guys hold hands during it?
I'm sorry?
Did you hold hands during the movie?
No, but we're not going to talk
Yeah.
about how we had plans for you to come, Gentry to come, Easy to come.
No, don't do this.
Just me and Chris. Just me and
don't
Chris.
do this. So, okay. To my defense,
Yeah, I would defend yourself now before heavyweights comes
Oh,
around.
that's
yeah,
true.
because
Or BDE.
or Neil Rule. Yeah, Neil Rule's going to come after me. I had a good weekend. I was in Ohio, went to Hocking Hills over the weekend. Checked that out. It was nice. I don't really go to Ohio. The only excuse to go to Ohio is typically Cedar Point, the Football Hall of Fame, or Hocking Hills.
Shout out
Or
Canton.
if you're an Ohio State fan, which those don't exist around these parts, then that's really the only reason to go to Ohio. And I did one of those things. I went to Hocking Hills with my girlfriend. It was a lot of fun.
No Bears?
I checked out. I drove through Toledo. It was interesting. You know, seeing the parts in which Lucas comes from. Man, that's
Different
what makes him.
perspective now when you're
The
driving.
mud.
through.
Yeah,
Went to the mud.
The mud. It was a lot of fun, man. But we came back yesterday around midday. And then I went right out because it was my buddy's 24th birthday party. So we went and celebrated that. Went to Royal Oak, had some fun. Got recognized, which was cool. You know, some people
Signed a
tune in.
couple autographs. Let's
I
go,
didn't.
Juicy
No, I
J.
didn't. They watched the Morning Woodward show, so I love that.
Let's go.
The people, they were out in the city. A couple people, a guy came up to me specifically and was like, "Hey, man, what do you think about Jamison Williams?" But before he said that, he goes, "I know you don't want to talk about this right now, But what do you think about Jameson Williams? And I was like, I got it. So we talked about Jameson Williams for like 20 minutes, but it was a lot of fun. Now we're
Famous
here.
out here.
Intoxicated Jeff signing autographs, talking about J-Mo.
No, I wasn't even really.
He runs Royal Oak. That's a fact.
That's. Hey,
Can you do something about the parking situation then?
no. I mean, I'm gonna have to speak to my people. We'll see what we can organize.
should run
but
for office.
I don't think so. No,
I mean, just basically
You should
the
run for
boss.
office.
no, we're not running for
could.
office. It is what it is. But it was nice to see people, man. They love the Morning Woodward show. So thank you guys for joining the show. Don't forget, hit the like button on the stream. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're only 300 subscribers away from 46,000. So not that far away.
Right
Hit
there.
the subscribe button if you haven't already. Plenty to get into today. I know we had some clips over the weekend from training camp. I know Lucas saw it. Maybe it's Sam Laporte out there catching TDs. Brian Branch picking balls off. You had Julian Okwara picking off Nate Sudfeld. Amon-Ra, Sam Brown cooking Cam Sutton, which, not to rain on this, like, not to be negative, but, like, am I the only one that's seeing, like, Cam Sutton get cooked a
You're
lot
not.
in training camp?
I walked in this morning and went straight to Lucas, and I was like, is Cam Sutton just getting cooked by everyone?
Here's
Every
the thing,
video.
though, okay, for some context, like he's arguably, I think right now, I think the Lions are looking at him as the #1 corner. So he's always going to go up against the Lions, #1 wide receiver, especially during practice. So he's always going up against Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Jameson Williams, etc. So they're going to get the footage of when Amon-Ra, St. Brown, or Jameson Williams, or whoever it is making good play. And if Cam Sutton is making incomplete passes, probably not as highlight worthy, so they're not going to be putting that video out there. I'm sure Cam Sutton is making plays, and we're just not seeing it. Because if
He
he
is.
wasn't, I'm
He
sure
is.
there would be a lot of concern. You wouldn't be seeing him going up against Amon-Ra and Jameson all the time. They'd be seeing a lot more Brian Branch and etc. So I think he is getting cooked every now and then. But that just is what happened when you play cornerback in the NFL.
Well, I was going to say,
especially against those guys.
yeah, great offense always beats great defense.
It does make
So,
me
like,
excited for Amon-Ra, too, though.
oh, yeah.
He's cooking a guy like Cam Sutton
And that's
every
iron.
play.
That's iron sharpens iron. I mean, you see out there. I'm not comparing it exactly, but it's like Garrett Wilson going after Sauce when he gets into the regular season. He's going up against Joe Schmo.
Yes.
he's
And I
gonna
feel
cook
like
him.
that's what was missing last year. That maybe that's that piece that I'm noticing more at these practices is like everyone just seems more in it, and I think it's because they're going up against each other, and the people that they're lining up against are really good.
Yeah.
Way better than last year. Everything got upgraded last year.
I mean, last year the big thing was Panay versus Aiden, right? It was like, oh,
Yeah.
Panay on Aiden. Like, and now they get to go at it again this training camp, which is great. Iron sharpens iron, but now you're getting it in the secondary. You get this wide receiver core who, to Gabby's point, hasn't really been tested. Like Jeff Okudah. And by the way, prayers to Jeff Okudah.
Hopefully he's
Man,
okay.
well,
Yeah.
it turns out to
He-
just be an ankle injury.
Yeah, it turned out nothing like
Yeah.
catastrophic.
My
or
man-
anything
my-
like
He
that.
did get to go up against Jerry Jacobs last year. No Jerry Jacobs. Hey,
But Jeff
zero.
Okudah was getting-
Sutton-
He's getting worked by Matt Collins now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jeff Okudah was getting worked. He was getting worked by Matt Collins. So it is what it is. Cam Sutton, he was right on Amon-Ra in training camp, though. In that clip, he caught a TD over Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton was good defense.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to – I don't want to get that narrative out there that Cam Sutton's bad or anything. He's going to be fine. But it's nice to see, like you said, Amon-Ra, he's cooking Cam Sutton.
Jared Goff's putting the ball
That's
right
That's what I
where it
was going
needs
to
to
say.
be.
People
it's
aren't talking
positive.
about the ball placement that Goff's been doing too, because a lot of times, like you just said, Sutton's been on his hip. It's just, especially in the red zone, the balls have been placed perfect. Pause.
Do you have that Sam Laporta clip?
Yeah.
All right,
Of
let's
course,
see.
you don't think I'd have the
Does
Sam
he have a
Laporta
Sam
clip? Are you
Laporta
kidding
clip?
me?
Here's Sam Laporta.
Let me find her real quick.
I think it was over Jack Campbell, too. The
It-
guy,
it was,
yeah,
yeah.
that's who I thought.
I
Not
gotta find her.
specifically, but
She's in here somewhere. Here we go.
I bet there's like 10 highlights in there of him.
yeah, like, well, there's this one, and this one right
This
here,
is
Jack
it.
just
That was a
missed.
dot.
Was that Jack with the handout
yeah.
extended? I think this is Jack.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
one right there. Wait, was that Jack? That looks like
It was either 46 or 48. I don't know.
I can't see it clearly if someone could help
looks
us
like
out.
48 kind of.
But regardless, I mean, what a dime, though. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's training camp again. I know we don't want to drink all the Kool-Aid, but regardless, man, how do you help?
I think it's
Yeah,
too
that was
late
like
for
48.
Yeah, like Booner was loaded up on Blue Kool-Aid Friday.
I was
that
really
Aiden
mad. I
Hutchinson.
came in this morning. All I wanted was to stop at the store and just get some blue Kool-Aid in a pitcher, and I was getting ready to have it here. I just forgot. I was
all right.
ready
You
to
would
go.
have made a mess on yourself,
Just
Boone.
didn't- I
He would've.
will.
He would have.
Wait till the season. I'm gonna have a lot of blue Kool-Aid.
And shout out to, speaking of Kool-Aid,
turn into
shout out to
Kool-Aid.
Detroit Kool-Aid because it is his birthday today.
Oh, shut up.
Man,
Shout out.
Kool-Aid.
Brandon
Go,
Dent,
man.
the
Oh, shout
legend,
out,
man.
Detroit Kool-Aid, man. He holds it down. He grinds. He puts out great work. The guy just doesn't miss. You know, he's always grinding. He's still doing Woodward Pistons content, so please go check that out.
And
him and Ron
also
Beard are
one of the
crushing.
most genuine people that you will
Great
ever
person.
Yeah, genuinely. I mean, he like you said, wants everybody to succeed. And when you have guys like that in your corner, it's special. So happy birthday, Kool-Aid.
Happy
We love
birthday.
you.
Drop a like for Kool-Aid's birthday.
Yeah, drop a like for Kool-Aid, man. He's
250.
really the man.
Let's hit it.
And you also have, I know there's some other clips in there. I saw Julian Okwara making some plays over the weekend. Amon-Ra. Do you have the Amon-Ra play we could see specifically?
Yeah.
All right, let's see the Amon-Ra play just so we get some context here. Because, like you said, look, Cam Sutton, this is good coverage.
No, that's just a perfect ball.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, man.
You can't change anything about that. Like, that ball was perfectly thrown. Look at Cam Sutton sitting there like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Even
I mean, how
Cam
does that
Sutton's
ball
not even
get
mad
any
at that.
better?
I'm going to be real with you, though. Like, the Jamison Williams clip of him cook, like, I hate saying cook, but, was open against Cam Sutton. That was worse. Because he had, like, 4 or 5 yards of separation.
100%. And I mean,
that one's not bad.
That's just because it's J-Mo. It's just
Yeah.
a completely different athlete. Coming out of a break, J-Mo's going to have a lot more burst than Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's not saying that Amon-Ra St. Brown does not, but there's just levels to it. Again, there's things that Amon-Ra St. Brown does better than J-Mo, and there's things that J-Mo does better than Amon-Ra. J-Mo definitely has more burst than Amon-Ra, so getting out of breaks, he's definitely going to have more separation.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Do you have the Brian Branch interception?
I don't know. I'll go get it real quick.
Okay, because Brian Branch is making some plays, man. And I know the hype around Brian Branch. I mean, we all love Brian Branch. We think he's going to be fine. And you saw how excited you got to see inside the den. You get to see their perspective on Brian Branch. They wanted to take him at 34, and they still were able to get him in the second round. Brian Branch was over there in practice making some plays, man. And I know this year, regardless if there's an injury or even without an injury, you're going to be seeing a lot of Brian Branch.
I agree. I think, and I know the heavyweights I've heard in the last couple weeks, I think it might have been Spencer. Someone was like, he's not going to see the field at all now.
What?
But that was 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then since he said that, he has just, like, the Lions have just been releasing tape of Brian Branch, multiple interceptions. Beat reporters, people on the scene are saying Brian Branch is standing out. Like, he is getting reps. We talked about it on Friday. He's with GJ. That's tough to say sometimes. GJ, Cam Sutton, Tracy Walker, Kirby Joseph. He's out there learning. And he has better talent than them, in my opinion. Like, he's been at Bama and started for years there.
Yeah.
He has better talent than some of these guys. It's just about learning the game. So he's going to see the field this year, and he's going to turn into an elite back.
Anytime, and you look at DBs at Alabama, and this was kind of the similar thing, and I'm pretty sure it was like this with Surtain, because Surtain played early on in Alabama. There's something about like getting trust of if Nick Saban trusts you as a freshman, like there's something there.
He didn't just play the second. He returned punt. He did everything there.
Yeah,
that's where he wants to come in and he wants to compete. And he will compete with some of these guys. He's going to compete with Kirby Joseph. Like, he will compete with these guys, and he will see the field at some point.
And he's not just a safety, man. Like, he can play corner. Like, especially now with Emmanuel Mosley, the question marks around him. And I know he's been activated, but we'll see with the whole the surgery he had. But regardless, you have Brian Branch there that isn't just a safety. He could play in the slot. He could play, he could be your corner, starting corner. I'm excited to see Brian Branch, how AG uses him.
I saw a stat, and someone in the chat, or if anyone here knows it, there were, like, in him at Alabama, he only missed, like, 2 tackles or something like that.
Oh,
like,
ridiculous.
It's an insane stat.
And how many secondary players missed tackles last year for the Lions?
A lot.
A ton.
We were just talking about Okudah.
And Okuda's a big reason for that, too. I mean, you go back, the Carolina game's a prime example. Not just Okudah, but, man, the secondary has a lot of work to do. So excited for him, excited for this secondary, but I'm also excited for this show because we got plenty more coming up. Dan Campbell, by the way, I got to play this clip coming out of next break, so stay tuned for this. But Dan Campbell, when asked about the pressure of this season, that's why I love Dan Campbell. He continues just warm my heart. So we're going to discuss this and much more, but before we do that, JB, can you tell everybody about our friends over at Big Boy?
I'm going to let them know just because JB's having some camera troubles today because Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy, and it's your time to try the classic breakfast items like the strawberry hotcakes or mouth-watering red velvet waffles. If you're not feeling breakfast, try the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or cool off with a refreshing summer splash salad. And don't forget to grab dessert, including their very delicious classic strawberry pie, deep-fried vanilla Oreos, or strawberry hot fudge cake, and more at Big Boy.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren, I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
They're all coming.
No, I don't feel weight. I feel wind underneath my freaking wings, man. That's what I feel.
Truthfully?
Truthfully.
It uplifts you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love this, man. This is outstanding. I love our fans. I love that, man, they feel it like we feel it. And no, this is not a burden. This is not pressure. This is not weight. This is, man, this gives me inspiration is what it does for me and our guys.
Wow. I really do. That man just continues every offseason.
I love Dan
to impress me. I mean, how can you not love to play for that dude?
I would.
They ask him.
Man.
Ask him about pressure. He says, "Yeah, the wind uplifting me under my wings." Like the most badass WWE response. JV was at SummerSlam. You know that.
He did sound like a WWE wrestler.
Yeah, dude.
He was like the wind underneath my wings.
Yeah. And this is why I love it too, because he's so genuine. Like, he's just himself. Like, and I can't wait to see not just this season, but the years to come with Dan, because he has a real chance, Booner, to kind of prove all the people that think like, oh yeah, this type of personality, this type of coach ain't gonna work out. He has the opportunity to kind of change that narrative.
Yeah, I think he already has changed it. The kneecap thing to start his whole career in Detroit, and then into last year to where, I mean, he did struggle a little bit, but now all of this in training camp, he's completely changed the culture. There's not any coach in the NFL, I don't even know if in college football, that is like this guy at all. I'm not kidding when I say this. If I got to choose one person to just have a beer with on a Friday night, and they were like, pick anyone in the world, I promise you, I would say, give me Motor City Dan Campbell. I want that man at my house tomorrow. We'll be drinking beer. I'll drink beer till 4 a.m. with him.
Yeah. No, the guy, he's genuine.
Listening to Metallica. Let's go.
Going on podcasts, talking about he wants a real life lion at Ford Field.
Dude.
Like
that would be a disaster.
Quick question. I know this is a little off topic. Have you guys ever just realized, being here in Birmingham, that there are legit lions like a couple miles down the road just living near us?
What?
Crazy thought.
Are there lions at the Detroit Zoo?
It's called a zoo.
Oh my
Booner.
God.
I know, but it's
Close
just
to
like,
a zoo.
it's a crazy
There's
thing to think
giraffes.
about.
I was like,
There's
wait,
probably
who has
hippos.
lions living in their homes?
Isn't that crazy to
here?
think? They're right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you
Sorry
think about
for
it,
that.
yeah, Ford
That's
Field.
off topic.
I mean, but for Dan, though, like, specifically to say things like this and
Man.
people laugh about it, but in reality, I think this is the thing about Dan, the aura he kind of presents. It's like, oh, this guy's a meathead, but in reality, like, he knows ball.
He does.
He's super smart, but I love the persona he gives off of just like, grit. Double venti coffees, wearing the race car helmet before the Indy. Like, all the stuff he's done, obviously wins are what matters. He has to come out this year and, of course, make the playoffs. I expect to win a playoff game. All that stuff matters. But this stuff it is what it is.
I did see
when people overreact to this stuff, it's a little over the top.
Did you
I
see
think it's great.
the Sports Illustrated interview with Jared Goff,
I
Brad
did.
Holmes, and them?
Yeah, Albert Breer.
And
Yep.
and they both, Jared Goff and Brad Holmes both said that everyone thought he was a meathead, like you said. He didn't know football, and they were just like, we want to keep it the biggest secret that this man knows everything about football. He knows the ins and outs of football, and he's one of the best coaches in the league. And they just wanted to keep it a secret. They wanted people to think that he was a meathead, and they were mad that it got out that he actually knew football.
Well, it's refreshing, man. Like, as a Lions fan, as somebody that covers the Lions, like as somebody that talks about them, man, it is refreshing to get a guy like Dan Campbell in here. But not just that. If the Lions are winning, to have a guy like Dan Campbell at the helm. We're coming off Matt Patricia, coming off Jim Caldwell. Like, Dan is so unique. He's so different. Now, winning is what matters, but man, if he can win.
Think about Dan at a Super Bowl parade.
That's what I'm saying. If this man could win,
Man.
Steve Austin,
Crushing
dude.
beers.
When the Lions win a Super Bowl, Dan Campbell, those videos will live on forever. The man's already a national treasure, and there's only more to come from him, in my opinion.
It would be like a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Exactly.
man.
Dan 316.
Yeah.
Brad Holmes is drinking behind him. They're just both getting lit.
I would
Going
do
through
everything I
downtown
could to get
Detroit.
on that float to drink a beer with him. I'm not going to get into
No,
that.
but
I would
Booner, I'm
do
right there
anything.
with you, man.
The question,
Let's go,
the
JB.
question I have though is with Dan saying this having a quote like this, and of course I feel like, and as much as we've heard quotes from the coaches and players, a common question they get asked is always about the pressure, always about the expectations. Like, do you guys think about it? I'm sure they get sick of it after a while because they have to keep repeating the same answer, which is essentially, yeah, we haven't done anything. We have to come out and prove it. Like it's they have to keep repeating the same response. But if you really think about it, Booner. The preseason starts soon. Like, things are going to start ramping up. What's your nervousness? What's your concern level that the pressure will get to this team? Because last year they were one of the youngest rosters in the NFL, and right now they're currently still one of the younger defenses currently right now in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure thing, and I know he mentioned as well a couple of weeks back that they're trying to block out all of the noise of all of the comments of, oh, are they contenders? Are they going to win the NFC North? And he's told the team, let's block all of that out. But at the same time, in this same press conference, he looked the camera in the eye and said, we love the pressure. We're about it. We're going to embrace it, and we're going to take on being contenders. And that's exactly what I expect out of them. I don't think that, when you do that, I don't think the pressure gets to you as much as it would if you're really worried about it.
Yeah.
When you embrace something like that, they're going to go into every game being like, we want this pressure. They've been practicing like that. They've been at training camp like that. If I'm being completely honest, the only pressure for Dan Campbell is the start when they went 1-6 last year, and a multiple of those games were his fault. Mm-hmm. I do think that he might be thinking, I need to be sharp this year because we can't start 1-6 because he was part of the reason we started 1-6. He knows that, the whole team, like, he's going to be sharp. That's the only pressure I think. Going out there with the team, I don't think the team cares. Look at what Amon-Ra's been doing. He's still putting the work in. Jared Goff is. I can't see them folding under pressure this year like they did 1-6 last year. I don't see it.
Well, I think the biggest giveaway too, and Albert Breer, when he had a conversation with Dan, Brad, and Jared, one thing they hit on too is like how these players, Dan's players, Lions players, continue to buy in. That's like a big thing, right? When you have a coach who, isn't winning games, but somebody that's not a great leader, guys are quick to buy out. Players can see fraud quicker than most. Like, players know real from real. Like, they can look at Dan and be like, okay, this guy's genuine. He knows football. He cares for us. Like, Matt Patricia, I mean, he got exposed pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Like, players see right through that bullshit.
Urban Meyer?
Yeah,
People
Urban Meyer's another one.
Instantly. There's guys that
players
happens.
get it. So last 2 seasons, I think we've been given signs that this team has faced adversity, but also they've overcome adversity. I mean,
they've learned how to overcome adversity together too. It's not like they just added a bunch of free agents and be like, all right, let's go win now. The core pieces of this team were young. They lost for a majority of the first season. If you look at Amon-Ra in that class, and you have the rookies last year, the first half of this season, they were terrible. And what they do as a cohesive unit, they learned how to win. And that's why I don't think there should be a lot of worry about this. If we were just picking and plugging, almost like how the Jets are, there's a lot of concern about that because you haven't seen how those pieces have played together. But when you have a team like this, I understand we got big free agents, especially in the secondary. Right. But when you talk about the offense, the quarterback, the running back, the coordinators, everything, they learned how to win together, and that's what's most important in my opinion.
And there's 2 things from the player's perspective, right? You start off, you're winless, they're 0-8, whatever, 0-9, whatever the record was the first year, and they still show up ready to work. They still give their all, especially during the week before the game, and Dan saw that. So clearly the players were continuing to buy in, but even the next season, you're 1-6. How do they respond? You're 8-2. You finish the season, one of the hotter teams in the NFL. That's responding to adversity. But take it a step further from a coaching perspective. Dan, first season, the first handful of games when they were winless, offense was disgusting. They got rid of Anthony Lynn. He made that decision. Promoted Ben Johnson, made that decision, a decision that we called for on this show. But more importantly, the following season, Aubrey Pleasant was let go. Like, Dan, from the players, yes, they have always bought in. It's been shown that Dan can coach and he could keep guys bought in even during adversity. But Dan has shown that he can make tough decisions in adversity and still stand by decisions. Another one, AG. They wanted his ass out of here last year. What did Dan do? Say, nope, we're keeping him. Defense after week 8, averaged 17 points per game. They were one of the better defenses in the NFL. So again, he stuck to his guns and made the right decision with AG. But again, from Dan's perspective and the players, this team knows how to face adversity.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk pressure. We're right now we're 0. The Detroit Lions are 0-0. They haven't played. They haven't won. They haven't lost. They faced pressure last year, the most amount of pressure you can face when you came in with a little bit of expectations to win some games, and you started 1-6. Like, that is the most pressure that you're going to face in the NFL. If you start the season 1-6 after starting 0-9 the year before, so being 0-0 right now, they already have been through this pressure. Every single player on that team, besides the new guys, have been through that pressure. And on top of it, some of these new guys, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he just played in the Super Bowl. He knows pressure. He lives for the pressure. Like,
he lives for it.
He does. They started 1-6. When a year where people were saying they were going to win 8 games, and you're 1-6, and then they went 8-2. There's zero pressure. These guys, Jared Goff does not care. Amon-Ra St. Brown does not care. Jameer Gibbs, he has the feel to himself. He does not care. None of these guys care. They're out there. They just want to go win. I don't see like they're like under a ton. The only Dan Campbell to me is like under a ton of pressure. He knows he can't have that start again.
Well, in Gabby too, you notice a trend here, like with Brad Holmes, Dan, everything's all aligned, and this is the first time, at least in my lifetime, that everything has been aligned from the top to the bottom, from ownership, GM, head coach, quarterback. And what Brad spoke about, and Albert Breer asked him, is it's not just Dan being the coach he is and the leader he is, but also finding the right players. Yeah. Brad has done a great job of finding the guys that can handle adversity, guys that want to come to work no matter what, and it seems to be working out so far. So let's credit to Brad and Dan.
Fully, because they've said from the beginning, we're looking at the person, we're looking at the human being, and you've seen it, especially in Inside the Den. You see those interviews and the questions that they're asking in those one-on-one meetings, and you see what's important to them. It's the football IQ, and it's the human being. And will they fit into this mold of a Lions player that, this whole idea of a Lions player has now taken media by storm, because you see how they've done it a little bit differently. He's done it the way they want to do it. They have their guys that they want, and they don't let this outside noise, this hype train, affect them.
I'm not on a hype train.
He's conducting.
If there was one
He's
man
not on it. He's leading.
You're driving the train.
He's the conductor.
I will have a conductor's hat that has a Lions logo right on the front. With some blue Kool-Aid.
Then you're going to have a dunce cap later in the season.
I don't know what that is, but yes.
Okay.
You have a gold little star that says, "Hi, I'm Booner," right here.
No, Mike.
I'm a Dan Campbell, Brad
do
Holmes
that.
type of guy.
No, don't.
That is who I am.
Booner, that's why we love you, man. You know why, though?
Love you too.
And I think we all agree, though, the pressure, as much as there is pressure, and as much as Booner's single-handedly creating pressure, no, I'm kidding, but as much as Lions fans are creating pressure, I don't think, you would prefer any other coach, but Dan in this specific situation, because again, he's going to keep the players in check. And you see that video of Dan and Jared saying the same thing to reporters?
Yes.
Like, I know when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's funny. They said the same thing. Like, no, there's something deeper in there, like in that story. It's because Dan and Jared are on the same page.
Yes.
Like, everybody's on the same page with how they feel and how they respond to the pressure, and the media talks about expectations. Like, again, I'll say it again, first time in my lifetime, ownership, GM, head coach, and quarterback.
This is
all in
Got
sync.
the big foe.
Yeah,
the big foe.
This is new to all of us. And to Gabby's point, too, with these players, we hear it all the time. Dan Campbell or Brad Holmes type of guys. And in the draft, when everyone was really like pissed off that we got Jack Campbell and Jameer Gibbs, they stuck to their guns and they got those guys.
Right.
They got people who want to go out there and compete. They can handle pressure, and they've done it in the past. Like, they got their guys. I said that on the day 2 of the NFL draft show. They got their guys. Dan Campbell type guys, Brad Holmes type guys. Which, to me, it makes me not worried at all that they have the right dudes in the building.
And just to get some of these comments, people are chiming in before we go to break here. Mitch M. Shout out to Mitch M, by the way, joining the chat. He says, Juicy Jeff, what up? Let's see. James Hewitt says, "Wind beneath my wings." Shout out to James. Jason Rowland is in here. He said, if they win against the Chiefs, we need Baydoun in the studio. I hope they win against the Chiefs. That would be a lot of fun.
They will win versus the Chiefs.
Chuck Brewer says, Lucas looks like an old-time stream train engineer. Get him in the outfit.
Ain't no way. Not a chance.
Let's see. LFG, Martha Ford play Buck the Line, Lions fans. Shane D, Sam is a pimp from the booth. He chimes in with the stats after a subject has been debated. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, Sam will be back tomorrow. I know Big D, they're making some changes too. Mike Gentry will be in that booth sooner or later. Sam's going to get away from the booth. He'll be full-time in the morning show. So you'll get all Sam Flannel every day for 2 hours. And then Mike Gentry will be jumping on Big D. There's that. We'll go to break. When we get back, we'll get into something Mike Martz talked about, which Mike Martz, man, he loves the Lions. And we got to get him on this show. Like, I'm going to try and make that happen because former Lions OC, of course, but more than that, he loves Ben Johnson. He loves this offense. He loves Jahmyr Gibbs. We're going to get to a lot of stuff he said this show. But before we do all that, Booner, could you tell everybody where they can get a workout?
Let's go.
You're looking jacked up, man.
Let's go, Boone. Lock in. First read of the day.
I love reading ads. Now I'm a professional at it. I might be the best at Woodward reading ads. But Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, yes, anyone, even Booner, and I mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. We are here to help you build a lasting, active lifestyle. At Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms that has a ton of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. Your fitness is essential, and fitness is a key part of physical and mental wellness, which is why we have invited teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free. I'm not eligible for that anymore, but all summer long with our high school summer program. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness at www.planetfitness.com because, Jeff, your fitness is essential, brother.
Let him see the guns, Boone.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
I don't believe in giving a rookie break. We'll see if they come out of this with it. I'm getting soft, coach. There you go. Hand level. First. Boom. Nice. Get the hell out of here. Out
Your childhood may be over, but certainly playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment sales, service, and parts. Carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and much more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit them, OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground. Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Jeff Iafrate, Booner, alongside me, filling in for Sam Flannel. He'll be back tomorrow. And we got the crew, as usual. JB, Gabrielle D. Phillips, Lucas Klotz. And you just saw Scotty Montgomery, by the way.
Brings the energy.
Scotty, he
brings the juice, man.
I love that.
That's a Lucas coach right there. That's a coach I want to play for.
100%. You know what was funny, too, Lucas, last year, this past offseason, you lose Deuce Staley. He was the most vocal one. You're like, where's that going to come from?
Jamal Williams, he's a vocal guy in that room.
And then you get Scotty Montgomery, who's just as vocal. We were there at training camp last Sunday, and man, he was yelling. That man's loud. One of the loudest
stopped
coaches
the whole
there.
offense and said, "F that, do that. We're starting over."
Yeah, he calls guys out. And again, he's the assistant head coach. For people that don't know, he's a running back coach and assistant head coach. So again, Dan even mentioned he's going to let him lead some of those locker room discussions and let him speak to the team himself. Which I think, man. He's a dude, man. Scotty Montgomery, I think, will be a head coach one day, or at least be an OC somewhere. He'll move up. The guy, players want to play for him, like Lucas said. But more importantly, speaking of Scotty Montgomery, he's on the offensive side of the ball, and Mike Martz had some interesting things to say about the offensive side of the ball. And I'll read the quote. It says, and do you have the picture here?
Yeah, she's up there.
Well,
Different one.
It's a different one, but it's okay. We're going to get to that one later in the show.
That is a beautiful graphic.
That isn't what we were looking for.
It's the one with Aiden.
That man, Mike Martz, has 100 different graphics for the Detroit Lions.
Ignore the mess up by Lucas here. Act like nothing happened. 3, 2, 1.
All right. There you go. Thank you, Lucas. Okay, so Mike Martz says defensively, they'll be so much better this year. The defense could move up into the top 15. Offensively, they're a top 5 team with a chance of being the best. Now, I know we talked about this, and defensively, I do think they're a top half defense. They should be. Last year, they were damn near last, and that secondary was awful. But you expect with the additions, with now everybody getting a year older, everybody being a year older in this system with AG, that things are going to slow down a little bit. Your most important players, the game is going to slow down a little bit. Kirby, Aiden, and now you got some rookies that you like a lot. But the question I have, Booner, for you and for everybody in the audience is, where can this team rank offensively and defensively? And just to give some context, and we'll just stick with the NFC. You go off the two best teams in the NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. They were both last year a top 5 offense and top 5 defense. Specifically, the 49ers were the number 1 defense and top 5 offensively with Brock Purdy, which is really impressive. But regardless, if the Lions are that team, Booner, where do they got to rank offensively and defensively?
I mean, it depends what we're talking about. If we're talking about, is this team going to contend? Because the stat you just brought up, the 49ers and the Eagles both were top 10 offensive and defense.
5.
Top 5? Okay. I have another stat here that I brought up. Shout out Flannel Sam. It's not really a stat, I guess. But there's 3 teams who were top 10 offensively and defensively last year. The Bills, the Eagles, and the 49ers. That is it. 3 teams in the whole NFL were top 10 in both. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, they're going to be top 10 defense, a top 10 offense. I believe that offense can stay as the top 5 offense. Yes, that can happen. But it all just comes down to the defense. They were ranked last year in the NFL. Obviously, the second half of the year, they're 16th, 17th, if you really just break down those games.
Right.
I do believe that this defense, with all of these additions, you added so much on. You filled every single gap in you needed to. With whether it's a linebacker, the secondary, corners, whatever it was, they filled in gaps and they did it at a higher level. So I do believe this defense will be a top 15 defense this year, just based off the what Brad Holmes went out there and did. He addressed the needs and he did it. And if anyone up there wants to talk about the defensive line, go do some research, because we talked about it Friday on the show. That defensive line has depth. They have people who can make plays, just are coming off injuries. So I'm not worried at all. Just with the schedule, though, the first 2 weeks scares me. I don't want people to overreact at all when you look at, we're going to play the Chiefs and then we're going to play the Seahawks. You have 2 high-level offenses, so that you might give up some points. But once this team starts to get going, Jeff, and this secondary, they start to kind of come together a little bit more. Cam Sutton gets comfortable. CJ gets comfortable. Jack Campbell starts to feel a little bit better being that green dot guy. This defense can get really, really scary really fast.
And that's the question, and I want to pose it to the people. Again, you think this defense, offense, you think they're top 5, top 10, top 15? Where do you rank them? For me, I think the offense will still be top 10. I don't expect them to be top 5 again. It would be great. I know Mike Martz said they have a chance of being 1. It's just hard for me when you depend on 2 rookies as 2 vital parts of your offense for them to just assume they'll be top 3. But they're too damn good schematically not to be a top 10 offense. They could be 7, 6, whatever the case may be. But again, you could say, well, Jeff, last year they didn't have Jameson Williams at all, pretty much until the ending of the last couple games of the season, and they were top 5. So again, you're right. But they also had guys that were difference makers, like a DJ Chark, who took the top off. Who's going to fill that void? Not saying, again, I know everybody, it's not about having marquee players, Lucas, but you had a guy in DJ who consistently was a threat to secondaries.
And I think Marvin Jones is the same thing.
Marvin Jones and Josh Reynolds together.
I'm telling you right now, you line Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, and Josh, DJ Chark blows them if they run a 40 and they race. Are you joking?
Well, okay, he's probably a little bit faster than him just because he's younger, but as far as contested catches and deep threat, Marvin had more yards than DJ Chark. If not, it was just a little under. And he's more of a red zone threat, and he can still, no matter what, get down the field. That's what he's always been. He's a veteran. You want to talk about consistency, that is Marvin Jones. Josh Reynolds is the same thing. Yeah, I'm not saying that DJ Chark didn't matter last year.
No,
but DJ Chark is like a B-, C+ receiver.
He's an average. He's a just maybe a little above average receiver, but you don't even realistically. You don't only need Marvin Jones to be at a high level for 6 weeks.
You just got
Because JMO is that guy.
Yes.
For all of
now,
you who think
when
JMO,
he-
just because he has issues, he is still that guy.
He is, but again, he's out for the first 6 weeks.
Exactly.
And the question, and that's probably my biggest worry, isn't even the defense, the defensive line, because you mentioned the depth. My concern is the wide receiver core. Besides Amon-Ra, you can mention Marvin Jones. Yeah, he's solid, but again, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, he played behind who? Christian Kirk, Zay Jones. Like, he wasn't this offense. You'd expect him to be behind Amon-Ra and maybe Josh Reynolds.
Yep.
Like, it's in Sam Laporta, they're going to depend on him a lot. He's going to be making plays, but also Jahmyr Gibbs. Those guys are going to be vital parts. But the offense, I think, will be top 10. I'm not trying to say they won't be. Defensively, though, can they go from the worst defense to a top 10 unit in 1 year? That's the question I have. I think top 15 is more likely, because even you go top 15 this past season, I mean, you're looking about at least the range they'd be in. You're looking at Cleveland, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Green Bay. Like, those are the teams you're chasing. And I do think defensively that the Lions have a ton of upside. They do, Lucas. They really do.
I think they absolutely have upside. I've said it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it 3 times. I think they will be a top 10 unit. If not top 12, top 15, especially because of the division that we're in and the people that we have added and how they've been playing in legit winning situations, especially when you talk about CJ, Emmanuel Mosley, Cam Sutton, all these guys, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, San Francisco, they know how to win. They're coming on the defense, so I don't really expect to see some dramatic shift in chemistry and anything like that. The Lions had a top 5 offense last year. I expect that to dip back. But to your guys' point of the teams you brought up earlier, I think the Detroit Lions have to have top 10 on both sides, because we brought up the teams. Buffalo, Josh Allen, but again, he was kind of off, so he wasn't like the Josh Allen that we've seen from the past. Philadelphia, complete team that they build around a quarterback. In San Francisco, there's a complete team that they build around a quarterback. Jared Goff, I think, is one of those guys that you have to be able to put pieces around in order for him to have success, and that includes on the defensive side, because when your defense is playing how they're supposed to, that's going to limit Jared Goff errors. I'm not saying he's some turnover-riddled quarterback, but when you get down to it, he's going to be more turnover-riddled than when you have the elite quarterbacks that you're going up against, especially when you get in the playoffs. So this team, I think, will and has to have top 10 on both sides.
Yeah, and that's fair.
And to your point, too, Jeff, we talked about this a couple weeks ago on another show, was going from 32nd to top 10 is tough, no matter how many pieces you add. When you really look at some of these teams, like Kansas City's 11th, the Cincinnati Bengals are 16th. You don't need to be top 10 to compete and go win a Super Bowl or go win the conference. You just need to be in that top 15 range to where you're not giving up 25 points a game. You're not giving up 23. You're under that 20 points per game mark, and you're competing. You're keeping your offense in it. And when you have that top 5 offense, which we do have, you're just in every single game. You have a chance to win every game. You don't have that Patriots game. You don't have that Dallas game. You don't have the Eagles game where you give up 40 points.
We're laying the wood on Dallas this year, Boone.
Yeah, so like when you have just a solid 15, 16, 17th ranked defense, you're holding them to 20, 25 every game. You have a top 5 offense. You don't have to worry about giving up 40 points to the Eagles or the Seahawks or any of those teams. You're just worried about, let's go play our offensive game. Let's average 25 points per game, and we're going to win majority of these games and win the division.
And Jeff Olson says the Lions are still questionable up the middle. These DTs and LBs have a lot to prove before they are a top 20 unit, let alone top 10. And the thing is, though, with the defense last year, and I want to read this one too. Dante 151 says, Jeff, when Jacksonville needed a play on offense, it was going to get it going. They went to Marvin Jones because he's an older version of Brown. Yeah, I'm not arguing Marvin Jones isn't solid. I'm talking about someone that makes this offense dynamic, someone that can take the top off a little bit to change things up. And now Mims could be that. Mims could be that.
Yeah, he got hurt over the weekend, though.
He did.
He had some crazy catch, I guess, and then he got a bruised ankle, but I don't think it's anything significant.
No, he'll be back. Maybe Mims could do that. But that's the guy you're kind of looking for until JMO gets back. But to answer the second question, Jeff mentioned how the defense is still questionable. It's really, and again, this defense doesn't have to be the San Francisco 49ers where they're allowing 15 points a game. But what you need is turnovers. You've got to create turnovers. And one thing they did last year, Booner, Lucas, Gabby, and JB, last year, the second half of the year, is they were forcing turnovers, but they were also really good against the run until that Carolina game in which, well, we'll just leave that in the past.
A little wake-up call. No?
Regardless, that was the two things. That was the bread and butter of this defense. It was being stout against the run and creating turnovers. Yes. And you added CJ, whose prime strength is creating turnovers. So as much as there is pressure to make this unit a top 10 unit, I would be okay if they're top 5, but they're creating consistent turnovers, because that's something the first half of last year they didn't really have.
Yeah, and like even to the Aiden Hutchinson point, like he's going to get more sacks. He's going to get to the quarterback crate. All of this comes together. The whole defense is going to come together. You have a new green dot linebacker as well in Jack Campbell. This is like the whole defense is going to be completely different than what we saw when they went 1-6. And I saw in the chat here, someone put that they ended that 8-2 stretch. Someone said they were either 11th or 12th. I don't know which one, but in defense, in that stretch,
especially, yeah.
So when you think about that, and they went 8-2, if you're just 15th, you probably go 7-3, 6-4. If you do that this year, you win 12 games.
Right.
Like you win those games.
And especially when you think about the games when Minnesota at home against Detroit, we shut down Delvin Cook. In Green Bay, we shut down the run game. In New York, we shut down Saquon Barkley. So it's not like this team is just completely flawed with unstoppable, like they can't stop the run. It's just they need a little bit more time, a little bit more talent, a little bit more coaching. And that's exactly what they got. We saw what the potential could be. I think that's up here. Now, we saw what they could be when it was bad. That was down here.
Yeah.
So I think when you add talent, you add playing experience, you add good coaching, it's going to be about right here. Now you add a good secondary and a good linebacker, it's going to be better. I think maybe a little bit more time, but as far as the result that we saw, especially the beginning of half last year, I think that's long gone.
You just got to get rid of the clunkers, like the games, and hopefully that you blame that on you.
Patriots, the Panthers.
The clunkers, not just defensively, but offensively as well. And hopefully with another year now, more consistency, to Lucas's point, you kind of find a middle ground there. But you know who never has clunkers? Go and check out Randy Wise. Right,
Yeah.
right, Gabby?
Of course. They don't have clunkers. They have celebrity-level vehicles. And if you want to make the wise choice, you have to get down to Randy Wise today. Our friends down there will hook you up with the best vehicles in the area. Randy Wise, make the wise choice, and also go and watch the first episode of the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour, now available on Woodward Sports YouTube.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
All right, 3, 2.
Hey, it's Chris Hansen, Woodward Sports. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Chris Hansen's locked in, baby. He's locked in. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We appreciate you guys for sticking with us, choosing us this morning. Don't forget, hit the like button. We'll try to get
300 likes.
300 likes.
I'll do some down ups.
Down ups.
You got 300 down ups if they get 300.
Not 300, but I'll do 10.
If you get to
at the end of the stream. If we hit 300 by the end of the stream before it closes, at what time do we end? 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'll knock up some Dan Campbell 10 down ups.
If we get 250, you still gotta bleach the hair with the blonde tips.
I would do that, but this is my last. I'm like a substitute teacher.
This
is my last day on the show.
And we'll play it on the show. So 250.
250.
Booner has to bleach his hair with blonde tips.
Not bleach. I'll get the spray.
Yeah.
I do have another job. So I'll do the spray.
Booner will have blonde tips, and if we somehow get to 300, he'll do 30 up downs.
30 right here.
Wow.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Booner's he's gonna get that wrist injury like Dan Campbell, man, doing those out.
Get on the IR. You guys won't see me for a few weeks, man.
Oh, let's
have to be ready for the start of football season. Actually, it probably will.
After like 3.
I have faith in him.
Yeah.
I think I could do 10's not a lot.
Yeah, no.
You got 30, Boone.
Oh, 30? Oh, wow. I thought I said 10. Yeah, I'll do 30. Screw it.
Yeah, it is what it is. Chuck Brewer says, enough Lions for now. Cade talk, please.
Cade was cooking.
Yeah, Cade was cooking. He declined to obviously join the Team USA roster, but they invited him. He was welcome, open invite. And he, very mature response. He said, no, thank you. I want to focus on this upcoming season. We're coming off an injury. a lot of traveling that's involved in playing for Team USA. It would be no question that Team USA could use Cade's talents. But he, of course, declined that. Still got to work with him, though, which is great.
Real
Him
quick,
and
too,
Dirk.
with Cade, a lot of people with his injury recently, there was a lot of people not hating, but forgot what he can do.
Oh, yeah.
And how good he, like, there's people that were telling me that he wouldn't have affected the Pistons to win 8 more games this year, which is insane. If you really break it down, if you watch basketball, he's just like a Luka Doncic. I saw that comparison on Twitter. He just slows the game down.
Yep.
He knows the angles, and he controls the whole game.
Yeah, his pace.
He knows how to control the whole basketball game to where he can win you a game. That Cade is on that. He's going to get to that Luka level to where people are going to look at him like that in the next 2 years. Then that is a fact.
I mean, especially dudes, let alone if you're 6'6", 6'7", but point guards that can control the pace, dictate the pace. That's what Cade does
Even
at
off
a high
ball,
level.
like he knows the angles to get over. He's always like, he is like a Luka Doncic. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah, you saw him. I mean, at the scrimmages, man, like cooking up guys like legit NBA players. And people, I know it's hard. You say people forgot. They might have, forgot a little bit, but they of course know how talented Cade is. But they remember when he played.
I saw a lot of people outside of Pistons Twitter in chats and people, maybe even at this network, who were like, "Can Cade actually give you another 10 games?" Cade might get you another 15 games.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being honest here, with the sore now, like, it's legit. Cade is legit.
And I love this comment, Weezy D313. I was arguing with a Raptors fan about Scotty Barnes being on Cade's level. You know what's funny, too, Weezy D? And he also put, Weezy D also said Cade was the best player on the floor. Yeah, no question. And the whole point about Scotty Barnes, man, I like to reminisce and look back at Cade's rookie season and, all the effort I put into fighting for that man to win Rookie of the Year, because it was bogus. And I came on this morning Woodward show and talked about it. Like, the stats, the impact, like people, and again, I always say this, the Rookie of the Year award is now MVP. Whoever has the best team. That's how it works.
Is there a way?
And here we go. Look at this man, just cook. I mean, and this is just the offseason for Cade. Look at his wingspan, too. It's crazy how long his arms are.
Can we get that video from, maybe not, but of Scotty Barnes running? Have you guys seen that?
Scotty Barnes running. What happened?
You guys have never seen him running out of the tunnel that one time, just absolutely like falling over it. I'll try the next break. I'll send it, but it was just like people. It's funny.
And Chuck says the connection between Cade and Durant on Saturday didn't look like Cade missed last year. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Like, Cade's one of those guys, man, you drop him in anywhere. Drop on any team, drop him in any time period in NBA history, and he'll just play. Like that's the type of dude he is. And as you can see, look, the shot looks good. A lot of things now. Look at him. His own pace. Dime. Like, he's cooking. And
I'm so excited. I got rid of my season tickets.
We discussed him a couple weeks ago, probably more so a couple months ago. I want to say about 2 months, but he was up there in most improved player, favored. And I don't know how much. I mean, again, on one leg, you average 26 and 6. That tells me that's the bare minimum he's going to do this year. One leg, you give me 26 and 6. Booner, I can't imagine. Fully healthy, in better shape, as in he's stronger. Not like he was out of shape, but stronger. Hopefully his body can hold up. If he can be healthy for an entire season, Booner, right there, that's the most improved player. Scary hours.
I'm scared. I think with Cade coming back, I mean, it's a 30. You can win 30 games with Cade. We didn't even get to see Jaden Ivey at his best with Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren.
And that's the biggest, I think, question mark for me, at least, heading into the season, because it's I don't know if you want to say it's unfortunate, because we got to see both grow a ton, but Cade being the man in his rookie year. Yes, with Jeremy Grant, but still, he found out pretty quickly what it takes to be that dude.
Yes.
And then Ivy the next season, Cade goes out. Ivy had to adjust to being the dude. And now this year, they're both on the court. Like, that's my question mark. That's what I'm going to be watching, is your future is predicated on those two guys, Ivy and Cade. So them playing together is the most important to me, Booner.
They can borrow some of my limbs or whatever they need to do if any injuries come up. They can borrow anything of mine, man.
Maybe you need to do those up downs first.
Yeah, I would say
get the blood flowing. Then they can do it.
Maybe Booner can get involved and maybe we can help out. I want to see you play.
Lucas, I have a strap. I'm the best shooter at Woodward Sports. That is a fact.
You or Joe?
There's film to prove that I'm the best shooter here. Maybe Lindsey Hunter. I might be able to just compete with him. I don't know if I'll beat him, but I have a strap.
Jeff, we already know the answer is going to be yes from Booner. We'll get the answer from you and then the people. If Booner sends it at 9:40, do we want to see Booner's high school mixtape?
I do have I was shooting 30-footers. I was Steph Curry.
Drop in the chat. I'm about to put a poll
you know,
up. If you want to see Booner's high school mixtape at 9:40,
I made more threes than Killian Hayes my senior year.
Okay, that's actually fair. Yeah, we'll play the mixtape.
I have to find it.
Booner,
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
find that, Boone. Send it to me.
Booner, and that's why I love Booner, because he's like one of those guys that always reminisces back to high school. Like, you've told us about your
dog in high school.
You've told us about your mixtape probably 1,000 times.
Because I was a dog, and if you're a shooter, you don't lose your shooter's touch. You're always a shooter.
Yeah, that's true.
I used to shoot 1,000 shots every single day.
Okay.
6 a.m. before
All right.
school,
Yeah.
and I would stay after. That's a fact. I can call my high school coach, and he would be like, "Yes, that's a fact." Coach Gonthier, shout out.
There's no doubt. I think Booner, you probably take me in a shooting competition. But if we one-on-one, you're getting
dominate
cooked.
you in a shooting competition.
That's it, though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
once we
one-on-one. I mean,
one-on-one.
I've got the cut.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if you gave me like 2 months, I would get back. I promise you, I'd beat you one-on-one by 15.
But you got to think, if I gave you 2 months, you're giving me 2 months.
Okay, that's fine.
Like, that's your problem.
That's the thing, though. It's
That's
like
a
I was a dog.
Jesus.
I believe you.
Give me 2 months. If we set an actual
dog.
date, if there was an actual date set up,
dude. I love Booner, dude. I love him. And by the way, keep that in the trash is the favorite. At 70. Oh, no, it's swinging the other way now.
Oh, man, you guys want me to I'll keep it in the trash. Just let you guys believe it.
No, and the thing is, you guys want to see this because it's like Booner edited. Like, he puts his own little, like, catchphrases on it. Like, he'll hit a 3, and it'll pop up, and it'll just be a blank screen. It says, cash.
Hey, I love that. Hey, Ryan's reaction says, I got money on Easy beating Booner one-on-one.
You don't want
Easy,
that.
I love you so much, bro. I love you. Easy's helped me out a lot.
Easy give you that work?
Easy, I would.
Easy might give you that work.
0. You would not. He might not score on me.
Hey, and Kool-Aid chiming in. Detroit Kool-Aid. He would definitely give all of us that work.
We got to do a run soon and get it on content.
Yeah.
We got to have, like, Lentz film it.
Yeah, I'm just a spot-up shooter. That's all.
We could do, like, me and Kool-Aid versus you two. Booner and Lucas. That'd be great. Now you're what?
Though.
You're just going to... Gentry?
Well, Gentry.
We have a 2-on-2 already planned.
Gentry won't even show up to the show, man. Like I tell him to come in and hang out with us, but Gentry's like, "No, I'm okay. I gotta go on Big D." You know, he's with Neil Rule now. I get it. Hey, I love you, Gentry.
Hollywood.
I guess he's Hollywood. Yeah.
He didn't even come with us to go get pizza last week.
He's too good for me now, I guess. Hey, I love Mike, but he's just, you know what? He sent me to voicemail this morning. No, I'm kidding. He didn't do that, but he's a little Hollywood. I can't lie. Yeah, no, we'll see with that mixtape. 9:40. If people want to see it, please vote. If not, I understand. It's okay. Don't feel bad. If you want Booner to keep it in the trash, you're fine. You'll keep it in the trash.
It's fair. It's up to the people. I love the people. I'm a man of the people.
Yeah. You know what though? I'll tell you what. We'll go to break. When we get back, I want to talk about the other graphic that Lucas kind of teased already, and it's Mike Martz just gassing up this offense and seeing the pieces they've added this offseason. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our friends over at the SMA, the Sports Marketing Agency, because they help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Back to the Morning Woodward Show here at woodwardsports.com. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. Don't worry, this isn't the only show that you can catch today at Woodward Sports. You can also check out Big D Energy from 11 to 1, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 to 4, and the Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7. Then keep up with us on all social media at Woodward Sports.
Oh, wow. Look at this comment. Easy. Gentry was supposed to be on the heavies, but he Hollywooded us too. Man, I didn't know that was a word. Hollywooded.
And he Hollywooded us out of the movies yesterday too?
Hey, listen.
They tried to get us for going to get pizza on Thursday.
Yeah,
maybe we're the ones getting Hollywooded.
And I just want to say this. I'll take all the heat. All right, it's fun and games, but I'm not the only one out here.
Don't be a martyr, Jeff.
Listen, I'll take the heat.
You're a great. That's a great captain move.
But when I'll take the heat, man. I'll play quarterback. I'll take all the heat. But when there's Booner, he was a part of that on
take
Friday
heat too, yeah.
or Thursday it was. And then we have Michael Gentry not showing up and helping us out, hanging out with the boys on a Monday morning. He's avoiding the heavyweights. BMG, man.
He's
What are you
watching.
doing, Jeff?
And listen, what changed?
Yeah,
What changed with Michael? Join Big D Energy. All right, so I'm not saying Neil Rule. He can call me Hollywood all he wants. Neil Rule.
Are we starting to figure something out here?
He's influencing. Some people,
Has
man.
Neil started a kind of?
With his 2 furnaces? He has.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
That man
With
has
his 2
I have no
furnaces.
He's got 2
And
furnaces.
his range that he can start from
And
here.
his range, he can start from the office before he goes out. The car's already cooled off before he gets in. Neil Rules, he's different. He really is.
That's awesome.
He's elite.
He's elite. Yeah. He's elite. I was told. Now let's get into this Mike March stuff because Mike March, man, and you can put up the graphic now, Lucas. He was gassing up this offense, and he has been for a while. But check out what he said about this offense specifically. The Lions are a top 5 offense with a chance of being the best. Look at the personnel they got. They got Ben Johnson on the graphic, ladies and gentlemen. They got Ben Johnson. They got Benny Johnson on the graphic, looking like a player.
Best OC in the league.
He's ready to go.
He's up there.
Put him in the speed flex.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
He kind of looks like the long snapper.
Oh man, I love this.
Have you guys seen our long snapper?
Yeah, he's
my
locked
guy.
in, man. BJ's locked in. Pause. But yeah, if you check out the entire roster, I mean, they list them all. Look at Jared Goff, Dave Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Marvin Jones. They got Marvin Jones on the graphic. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Jamison Williams and Sam Laporta. Guys,
Sam Laporta looks so good, man.
is this?
Look at
yeah,
him.
he does.
He's just
man.
grinning at the opposing linebacker right now. How are you going to stop this? You're not.
Speaking of Booner earlier saying who he'd like to have a beer with, Sam Laporta looks like he already had those beers.
Sam Laporta looks like he had a Molly.
Sam Laporta always looks like, and in his video sounds like he's like 10 beers deep.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
just goofy.
He
know?
looks like he had an interesting college life, man. Like he did some stuff. Like hey.
Went
That
to
man
Iowa.
was definitely a
Iowa
partier.
City.
He was partying out
You know,
there.
Iowa City's like the biggest party city or college
don't sleep
campus
on
in
it.
the country, I think.
Jack Campbell's the only one I'd probably give an excuse to. He looks like he just minds his own business.
No, I bet not. He's one of those guys that looks like he does, but I bet you he gets after it.
Yeah, I bet he rarely does, but when he does,
He's that guy that's quiet at parties.
he
like,
goes
"Want a
home,
beer?"
turns on film. It's just a black room, and yeah, he'll just crack open like 4 beers and not say a word.
He'll be
to
like
anybody. He's
25
just
beers
locked
deep.
in.
Sitting up against the wall, like
Not feeling a thing though. He just drinks beer for hydration. He doesn't even get drunk.
he's got beer in his Gatorade. He just
Doesn't
squirts
affect
beer
him at
in it.
all.
That's an
Throws a
elite
hog
move.
in.
Dave Schultz says, Woodward Sports, you're going to let Jeff get away with ragging on Gentry for backing out. Remember when Jeff stood you all up a couple months ago?
Did you?
Live and
No,
learn.
I-
Live and learn. The thing is, Gentry was the one that was kind of fueling the whole train in the back there.
Yeah, and by the way, the whole stood up. I had plans, guys. I didn't stand anybody else. The plans were already in place, but regardless.
It is tough sometimes. We all have our some plans, and then some people will make plans in a group chat, and then it's like, oh, I already have done that. Like,
But you're
have
already
this.
Hollywood, though. If you do that, you're Hollywood.
Yeah, you're Hollywood. It's like I've already had this plan. You guys just made this plan 5 minutes before the plan.
It's okay. I love it, man.
Love everyone.
It's the storylines of Woodward Sports, which I love. But just to talk about this offense specifically, I know there's been, Mike Martz has been driving the hype train of this offense specifically, but is this enough? Like, and I know that sounds like a stupid question, but just from if you're a Lions fan, cool. But try to have an unbiased opinion here. You like what they got offensively? You think this is enough? You think this is enough to be a top 5 unit? Let alone for the entire season.
I still do think it is. Like when you're looking at the graphic, one, you have Ben Johnson and Jared Goff, the first 2 guys on that list, right? This is the first time Jared Goff has had back his same offensive coordinator for 2 straight years. Right there, that already is a one up on last season. Then you go over and look at David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't care what anyone says. David Montgomery is a better running back than Jamal Williams. If you know football,
Flannel Sam might debate
Flannel
John.
somewhere.
If you know football, you know David Montgomery is a better football player than Jamal Williams.
Right.
I don't even know if Jamal Williams has had over 800 yards in his season before he got to Detroit.
He did not.
And David Montgomery did it every single year he's been in the league.
Yeah, he did.
And he's had a worse offensive line. So Jamal Williams, yes, he benefited from this offensive line. David Montgomery's going to do that, and he's a better back. Then you look at DeAndre Swift and Jahmyr Gibbs. To me, healthy Jahmyr Gibbs is 10 times better than DeAndre Swift at 50% throughout the year.
Yeah, that's the thing, too, because now you'll have Jahmyr, who we assume will be healthy, should be healthy.
That's
we
an
shall
upgrade
see.
itself, that running back room. And then the receivers as well. obviously DJ Chark, Jeff, I know how you feel about DJ Chark. You love him. But Marvin
He
Jones
thinks
and
that's
Josh
the
Reynolds
difference
together in the first 6 weeks, those are your X receivers, right? Then you just add on a J-Mo. You have 3 guys on the outside who can go make plays. No one can stop. You're never going to have a guy that's tired. Someone goes down with a cramp. Oh, guess what? We have Marvin Jones, one of the better X's in the league as well. Throw him out there. We have Josh Reynolds, who has the best communication with Jared Goff. And then you just upgraded basically your tight end position as well.
Yeah.
You went from those 3 guys to Sam Laporta plus 2 of those guys from last year. Everything is upgraded on this offense, basically. Everything.
And you didn't even mention Khalif Raymond.
Khalif Raymond. And you know what I didn't mention? The offensive line. They're all healthy.
They are.
Knock on wood. They're all going to be back together for the first time ever.
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, you look at this offense too specifically, and even though and you like to say I love DJ, I'm concerned.
You love him.
And
just say it.
DJ, he's a nice piece. I'm not saying
That's
DJ
your man
Chark.
crush.
I'm not saying
he's your
DJ
piece.
Chark. Hold on. I'm not saying DJ Chark is gonna like make or break this offense. But what I am saying is
he's your piece.
The reason.
That's your piece, DJ Chark.
Hey, well, what I will say is not having a guy like DJ who is a true X. Like we were all expecting Jameson to be here the first 6 weeks.
Is Marvin Jones not?
Dude. Okay, let me explain something to you. Okay, and I love the enthusiasm. Trust me, I love Marvin Jones. Right? He's solid.
They had the same stats from last year. I know it's different games,
but they had the same stats.
Different games. I know games played. It's only like 3, but still, like break it. Dude, look at the offensive line. Jared Goff. I know they had Trevor Lawrence, but like this offense was top 5.
I understand that. Booner.
Put Marvin Jones in a top 5 offense. He's gonna.
But the first
be great.
6 weeks, who's putting fear in safety's eyes for going deep?
Not DJ Chark.
Marvin
I can tell you
Jones.
that much.
Are you joking?
Dude,
go look.
They're putting the same amount of fear.
Hold up.
DBs when they're lining up against the Detroit Lions offense are not going.
So
DJ
you're saying the whole
fuck.
season 6 weeks?
No, hold on.
It's the whole season
on.
6 weeks. Hey, does anyone know the rules of the NFL?
I'm saying
how many games in a season?
Booner.
17.
What I'm saying.
It's a lot of games
Okay,
left.
yeah, no
11
dip.
more.
No dip. What I'm saying is the first 6 weeks without J-Mo, I'm concerned. Like Gibbs is probably the guy. If you talk about who can at least take the top off, but you're not going to use him like that. Khalif Raymond is another one.
Yes.
But I'm talking about a true X. What DJ, you go back and watch. Dude, watch some film. Go look back and look at. Hold on. Let me finish. Go back and look at Jared Goff, all of his best deep throws, and tell me. Get back to me. Who are they to?
Wait, time
and
out.
I'll wait.
Just like we've talked about before.
And I'm saying the first 6
I helped run the
weeks.
social, right?
That's my concern.
Guess the post I put out a couple weeks ago. I put like 10 of Jared Goff's throws, deep shots last year to DJ Chark. Posted that, and I said, hey, all you haters who think that DJ Chark and Jared, go look at that. And I did that. So I'm not.
So why are you
I'm not a hater.
Why are you saying DJ
But
Chark?
there's a comment in here.
Hold on. The thing with the
Let me find
DJ
this
Chark
comment.
throws, DJ Chark, why I'm not worried about, it's not like DJ Chark was insignificant last year, but when he did make those deep catches and was a deep threat, it's not like he had yards of separation. Most of the time, the guy was probably like on DJ's hip, and Jared dropped it in a bucket. It was a beautiful throw. Marvin Jones is a better contested catcher. He's about the same speed, and he's been doing it in the league for longer.
DJ Chark did drop some passes. That's a fact.
And DJ Chark also was hurt for a lot of the season. Marvin Jones is going to bring a lot more consistency. Sure, there's probably a little bit. DJ Chark at this point in his career probably has a step on Marvin Jones.
Can I throw this
But it's
comment
not
out?
like Marvin is a slouch.
And I understand DJ was injured. I understand that he wasn't available. But what I'm saying is when he was there,
He was
fact that
great.
DJ, there was a conversation last year. Who's the fastest on the team? It was DJ and Jameson.
Yes.
And now you're going to say, well, Marvin Jones is just as fast. Dude,
No, we're not talking
when
speed.
he was getting
At
targeted in
34.
Jacksonville last year, he was making some crazy catches, making some pivotal third down catches, especially late in the season. Like, I understand that DJ Chark is gone, but it's not like he's an irreplaceable guy. Maybe we went from a B minus with DJ Chark, and now we're refilling it with the C plus and Marvin Jones.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
But is that really anything to be concerned
Only
about?
for
when
6
that's your
weeks
wide
as well.
receiver 3?
Only for 6 weeks too.
No, I'm not saying.
But time out.
Dude.
Can I say this comment real quick?
Go ahead.
Jeff Olson. We cannot be hyping up Marvin Jones. This is just a Kool-Aid kegger at this point. Let's keep it 100% real. First of all, love keggers.
Kool-Aid kegger.
I would love a Kool-Aid kegger, Jeff. I love that. You're the best. But we're not hyping up Marvin Jones at all. All we're saying is he can be solid for 6 weeks to help this team until J-Mo gets back. And then J-Mo, don't tell me J-Mo's not going to be, doesn't have the potential to be better than DJ Chark.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
okay,
what
you
are
guys
we talking
hold
about?
on, no.
6 weeks.
This is the problem. Okay, I bring something up, and you guys like go in 40 different directions. All I'm saying is Marvin Jones is solid. You're arguing with a wall. I'm saying he's solid.
That's exactly what DJ Chark is too.
No, but DJ
Chark is
the
solid.
thing I'm I'm concerned about is
we're talking about 6 weeks here, fellas.
Oh my God. Booner. 6 weeks. You know who you face in 6 weeks, right? Two of your toughest.
After week 2,
you
you have
toughest,
a chance,
dude. Yeah.
to win every game.
Dude, okay. Let me just say this, okay? DJ Chark, what he provided, 6'4" with 4.35 speed. Denzel Mims could potentially replace that and be somebody.
Yes.
But again, all I'm saying is this offense, and maybe they don't need to be explosive. They're going to be running the football. They have the offensive line back. All I'm saying is until J-Mo gets back, who steps up? I would argue instead of Marvin Jones, which you guys love to gas up, I would say Josh Reynolds. I would say that would be my guy that would fill in that void, at least to some extent, until Jameson gets back. Marvin Jones is good for like 500 yards this year.
To
dude.
that point,
like, he's
though,
not like.
That was what DJ Chark basically was.
But he got in like 6 games.
Marvin Jones is going to do the exact
Right,
same
DJ Chark,
role as far as being a
6
deep threat. Then to your point, Josh Reynolds, he'll do the other stuff. They're just going to moneyball DJ Chark exactly like what they did with Jalen Carter in the draft. They're like, yeah, we're not going to bring him back, but we're going to do 2 or 3 guys that will do exact same thing and we'll replace it for cheaper money. And that's exactly what they're doing here. They will be fine. Mims, Reynolds, and DJ Chark will all probably go over what not DJ Chark, Denzel Mims will go over what DJ Chark did last year. I'm not worried about it. Like, I understand what you're saying where who's going to be that deep threat, but when you have a great running game, which is going to get better, they won't have to be taking those deep shots when you have a good defense because they'll be controlling the clock more. Those games against Seattle, we won't have those. We won't need to be having to take deep shots. Maybe every now and then, but that's when you draw up a play for Khalif Raymond until J-Mo gets back. If you want to draw up a play to Marvin Jones, there you go. Josh Reynolds. Like, this team has options. It's not like it's just going to drop off as far as no DJ Chark. We can't game plan for that.
That's
now, Ben Johnson is scheming up plays to replace that.
That's what
already.
I'm going to say. Yes, I'm with you. That's all I had to say. That was my last point was you have Ben Johnson at the end of the day. His schemes, everything he does, he is going to make sure these guys are ready the first 6 weeks. He will draw something up for Josh Reynolds. He will draw something up for Marvin Jones. He will do all of that.
I understand.
There's going to be no worries. And I do understand your concern. Everyone, a couple guys in the chat here, understand the concern.
There's some objectiveness.
There is a concern. But for you can create a Twitter account that says Marvin Jones enthusiast, whatever you want to do. Or, I mean, DJ Chark. You can be the fan club. You can do whatever you want. But I do understand your concern. But we have Ben Johnson, Jeff. We have Josh Reynolds.
Listen, I love it.
J-Mo comes back week 6.
I do.
Marvin Jones isn't a scrub. If you think he's a scrub, we can have a different conversation off the air, brother.
No, I'm not. No one's saying he's a scrub. This is what I love. I love you, Booner, but like the argument I'm making isn't like the Lions are going to lose every game the first 6 games. I'm not. All I'm saying
Sounds
is
like it, man.
I'm curious how this offense looks without Jameson. Is that fair?
Like, that is fair.
Relax,
fair.
Jeff. They got Ben. Relax.
Stop
No, you got to be objective. Are you not concerned? Like, yeah, you should be.
That's fair. That's
now, but I think Lucas, and we all kind of hit on it. What's going to help is you have a healthy running game. Hopefully, the offensive line will be healthy. You're not going to have to depend on these big plays, right, until Jameson gets back. So I understand that. But again, and Chuck Brewer says 1-5, Jeff. No, he's kidding. But no, I'm not saying that. The Lions will be, I think, fine until J-Mo gets back because you know I love J-Mo. I'm excited. I think J-Mo's going to be a stud. I think he's going to be elite. But all I'm saying is, who fills that void while J-Mo's out? I think Josh and Marvin are going to be fine, and Khalif Raymond. But man,
DJ Chark.
It's just crazy.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand why DJ Chark when he was here, and then now that he's gone, he's like, oh, he's garbage, man. DJ Chark, dude, what?
I thought the same thing while he was here. Like,
he thought he was garbage.
No, I never said he was garbage. Now you're doing what Booner did to you, okay? I said it's not like he was insignificant, but you can replace DJ Chark. It's not like when DJ Chark was out, like, oh God, how Jared Goff gonna throw the ball down the? No, they're fine. They're fine.
I want to look up a stat real quick. Let me get in my bag real quick.
What bag for what, Booner?
Now I want to tell you something real quick.
Go give me Marvin Jones' 40 while you're at it.
What I want to do is I want to tell you this.
I got you, Jeff.
This is my point that I keep saying. First 6 weeks, even through the whole season, without even J-Mo. Let's not even talk about J-Mo. DJ Chark, and then you have Marvin Jones and Josh Reynolds.
Right.
2 guys versus 1, right? Those 2 guys combined last year had 1,000 yards. And I understand that it's like, oh, well, they both can't be on the field. But those 2 guys are filling in that DJ Chark role for that first 6 weeks. Combined, they both had 1,000 yards, about 500 each. I'm not worried at all. We're not filling in a receiver that just went for 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. We're filling in a guy that had 500, 450, whatever it was, yards.
In 10 games.
In a couple touchdowns.
Yes, in 10 games.
But, like, okay, in 10 games. All you need to do is fill it in for 6 games.
Yeah, no, dude. If you're talking,
this is not hate on DJ. I think DJ Chark was great for us last year.
That's all you gotta
and
say.
I do think
I'm just glad we got
I
that
understand
cleared
your
up.
point.
Yeah.
But I want you to understand that it's not as big of an issue or worry as people like want to kind of portray it to be. DJ Chark was a piece of this offense. Yes, he was not a T. Higgins to this offense. He was a DJ Chark to this offense. Josh Reynolds and Marvin Jones together can fill that void for 6 weeks.
Okay, there you go. Now we're talking.
And then Jameson Williams is your T. Higgins.
No, now you're making sense, Booner.
Thank you.
Before
that's all I've been saying for 5 minutes.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. What you said was Marvin Jones can fill the void. Now you're Josh Reynolds and Marvin Jones. Yes.
Chat. Anyone rewind the tapes? I started the whole conversation off with Josh Reynolds and Marvin Jones.
Rewind the tape.
You guys were both gassing.
I have it in my notes here. I put Josh Reynolds / Marvin Jones equals DJ Chark.
If you want to take Marvin Jones over DJ Chark, feel free. I'll take DJ Chark. I think everyone has their own opinion on that. But if you say Josh Reynolds and Marvin Jones can, fair. Okay.
Gabby confirmed. She ran the tapes back. I did say.
He did say the
combined.
The combo.
All I remember is we were arguing about Marvin Jones Jr.
I'm just saying,
until I brought up Josh Reynolds.
In the chat, did I my initial statement was Josh Reynolds and Marvin Jones combined will help replace DJ Chark.
I 100%. I remember us arguing about Marvin Jones versus DJ Chark.
I was more so saying that Marvin Jones is practically the same thing as DJ Chark. I still believe that. Okay. I still believe that. They're both X-wide receivers. Marvin Jones is taller.
A little bit on that.
Marvin Jones is bigger, taller. DJ Chark is a little bit faster.
All right, you know what? I'm done here. All right, we're done.
Fair enough.
We spent a lot of time on that.
If you think that was a pointless argument. What we're arguing is who will fill in without J-Mo.
We're arguing the wrong thing.
And you,
John Lord did say you should apologize.
Apologize for what?
Coming at me.
Apologize, Jeff.
I would love for you to say apologize.
No, I'm not apologizing.
Come on.
Be nice.
Apologize.
Let's talk.
Come on, Jeff.
That I think DJ Chark's better than Marvin Jones?
Jeff.
No, I think that's true. I don't think that. No, I'm not going to apologize. I love you, Booner, but no. I
love you too.
Disagree with your point about Marvin Jones filling the void of DJ Chark. I think he'll be solid, but people are just crapping on DJ Chark like he was nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Marvin Jones, like the Marvin Jones and DJ Chark, like DJ Chark does have the little edge on him for sure.
Okay, but regardless, the Lions, I think with Ben Johnson, with this offensive line, with the run game, they'll be fine. But we shall see. Let's go to the next segment here because we've got to get into a comparison for Jahmyr Gibbs that is very interesting. And Lucas, I want to get your thoughts because you have a comparison already on Jahmyr Gibbs, and we'll see how this one lines up with that. But before we do that, I got to hear about our friends over at Lady Jane's, Booner. Can you tell
Lady Jane's. Yes, this beautiful haircut. Got it last week at Lady Jane's. Walk into Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Left Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, girlfriend, best bud, Booner. Anyone you want, you can pick Booner again. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Let me tell you about our friends over at the Academy of Warren because they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can also be used for 7-on-7 football. K through 8, all features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, futuristic media center, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. Don't forget that Ermanni and Edwards will be broadcasting from their carnival on August 24th. Come meet the staff and explore your child's new school. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment. All you got to do is go to academyofwarren.net for more information. Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Don't forget, guys, we're almost at 200 likes. Hit the like button. Support the morning show. We appreciate you guys for choosing us this morning. My guy Booner, back at it, filling in for Sam Flannel. We got the entire crew here as always. And we got to get into a little bit of Jahmyr Gibbs. We just got done talking about, DJ Chark over Marvin Jones or, whatever you choose. If you think
whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeff
it is what it
Peace
is.
DJ Chark.
And again, I'm not even like a DJ Chark stan.
Yeah,
I just think he's better than Jones. Like, it is what it is. I still think Jones will be solid. It's fine, but we'll get to
both of your points. J-Mo's better, so.
Oh, 100%. He's levels above both of them, I think, and he will be. Let's get to Jahmyr Gibbs, because I think this is Mark Martz as well. Mike Martz was cooking.
Oh, yeah, it is.
He made a comparison here for Jahmyr Gibbs. Mark Martz says this guy might be the centerpiece of their offense. He's the first guy I've seen who reminds me of Marshall Falk.
Another Hall of Famer on this Detroit Lions team.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
We're stacking them up.
Just get as many gold jackets made as possible. I mean, we got Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, Panay Sewell, Brian Branch. Keep it good. Jameson, Amon Ra, Aiden Hutchinson, Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, Sheila Hamp. Get them all made. Just hand them
They're
out.
going to move the Hall of Fame to Detroit after this team.
They should just hang up gold jackets before the Kansas City game.
Yeah.
Everyone gets one. Jack Fox.
There should just be a wing for Lions players for Hall of Fame.
JB. Spot on.
Just make their jerseys gold. Like, just go out there with the entire team's Hall of Famers. It is what it is.
Move the Hall of Fame to Allen Park.
But you know what's funny though? And Marshall Falk is a friendly comparison. Like, I'll say that. Hall of Famer, a guy who's had 1,000 yards in about 60% of his seasons, and more than that, the receiving yards. I mean, he has over almost 7,000 career receiving yards as a running back. Like, Marshall Falk was that dude.
Yeah.
But just to make the comparison, I know you had your own comparison. You said this pretty early on. You like Jamal Charles.
Oh, yeah. I think, especially when I'm sure we all remember the game when Jamal Charles scored 5 touchdowns against the Raiders. I want to say that was like early 2010s era. But that's what I see Jahmyr Gibbs' role being in this offense when we talk about, especially with J-Mo out, needing that speed factor. Running Jamal Charles and Jahmyr Gibbs, they have a very similar combine stats. When you look at what they do on the field and what they bring, very similar, kind of undersized backs that are just complete burners. And Jamal Charles is one of the most underrated backs in NFL history. If he played anywhere outside of Kansas City, especially that was like the dog days in Kansas City, this man would no doubt, like if he was on the Cowboys, be a Hall of Famer. Because what he could do in the receiving game and the return game, especially when he was younger, the man averaged, I'm looking at it right now, he averaged 5.4 yards per carry, and he had 44 touchdowns and 7,563 yards in like 8 seasons. So this dude was a dog. He just needed a better situation, and that's what Jahmyr Gibbs is absolutely in right now.
And
so I think sky's the limit. That's my comparison is Jamal Charles.
Does it kind of get you excited too? Because everyone talks about when Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl and how successful kind of through those years in LA he was. Mm-hmm. And one big reason was he had a Todd Gurley. And now you have guys, Lucas comparing him to Jamal Charles, this guy comparing him to Marshall Falk. He's getting compared to like big time guys.
Oh yeah.
And his skill set, everything that people think that he can do. Marshall Falk, his rookie year, 1,800 yards, 12 touchdowns, offensive player of the year, all pro.
That's nuts.
Obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs might not do that, but if he does anything a little bit what Mike Martz is saying here, the fact that you're giving Jared Goff a guy like that, a guy like he had in LA, like a Todd Gurley level player, that changes everything. Because our biggest concern kind of with this Lions organization has been, is Jared Goff that guy? And I know we'll talk about it a little bit later, but is he a bridge quarterback guy? What kind of guy is he? You give him the pieces, a Jahmyr Gibbs, for example, like he had with Todd Gurley, he could go win. He can win you games. Mm-hmm. And he could take you to a Super Bowl if you need him to. And we've talked about for 2 years, what do you need for Jared Goff? You just need the pieces around him. Look what he did in LA. He had the guys around him. Now we got Jahmyr Gibbs on the roster, who's getting compared to Marshall Falk, Jamal Charles. You could sit there and be like, he's going to be on a level like a Todd Gurley, which was, his stats were insane, by the way, his 2 years. But like, still, that point there on its own, that gives me confidence that if you put guys around Jared Goff, which Brad Holmes is doing, It's very, very scary. If Jahmyr Gibbs ends up being that type of player and being at that level, it's going to be very, very scary for teams around the league.
I mean, Marshall Faulk, man, like that Hall of Famer, by the way. Just sprinkle that in as well to remind everybody. I guess for Jahmyr Gibbs, though, I mean, you look at his rookie year, 1,200 yards on the ground, and you talked about 500 yards receiving. I mean, almost 1,800 yards from scrimmage yards. That's, I mean, I think his rookie year would be more comparable to what Alvin Kamara. Is that fair? Like 800.
Statistically, yeah, because
I don't
Marshall
know
Faulk didn't have a D-mod in his backfield in Indianapolis when he was first starting.
Yeah, he like that. That's quite the comparison, and it's honorable comparison.
Do you see a way here, or just a path for Jahmyr Gibbs to go out there and get 1,500 all-purpose yards and 8 or 10 touchdowns? Do you see a path of him being able to do that?
Yeah, I do.
Which is that's exciting. That alone itself, whether he goes out and just gets, what did you have? Oh, 800. I guess that's 1,600 anyways.
Yeah, and Alvin Kamara won Offensive Rookie of the Year with those numbers. And that was behind Mark Ingram, who had like 1,200 yards
plus
on the
1,100.
ground.
Jahmyr Gibbs, plus 1,100.
If you talk about, I guess, rookie years, yeah, Alvin Kamara with that Saints offense behind Mark Ingram, it's doable. So we'll see. Eric Allen says it's the pronunciation of Kalk, but with an F. Yeah, by the way, I got a little bit of an accent, like a little bit of a different accent.
Say it again?
Falk.
Marshall Faulk?
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. Maybe it just sounds different.
But are people just being grammar?
Wait, each of you say it. Each of you say
it's Falk. It's just how I say things. I don't know. It's my Falk.
It sounds like you're doing F-U-L-K.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just
Jeff straight out of Italy, man. He came over.
Sorry, I got a little.
Stay low.
It's how it sounds. But trust me, I understand everybody. Thank you though. It's what I went to school for, so I have to get it right. I understand that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, it says it sounded like folk. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my pronunciation. That's how I sound. Falk.
There you go.
One more time.
Like, I got to say it loud to get it out.
One more time.
Falk.
All right, I'm proud of
Falk.
Great job, brother.
It's F-A-L-L-K if you're saying it out loud, like Falk, but it's just how it sounds. Relax, everybody. Jesus Christ. All right. But for Jahmyr Gibbs, yeah, I know. Just listen to the information, not the name, all right? The information is what's important. It's just how my language is. It is what it is. Fun fact, I actually was in like language classes in elementary school. So
now how do you feel, Chad?
Yeah. No, it's
feel?
not even like how I pronounce it. It's just, it is what it is. Just my voice, I guess.
That's
fair.
Chad still loves you.
And I guess for Jahmyr Gibbs too, when you look at the Offensive Rookie of the Year race, which we kind of had that discussion, as much as I love to say that Jahmyr would be a consideration, he should be. The question is, how much do they commit to running the football? Because like I brought up earlier, Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, like that was a run-heavy offense, and Dan Campbell knows a lot about that. That's why he compared Jahmyr to Alvin Kamara. But in that offense, and you can look it up too, Ingram had like 1,200 yards, Alvin had 800, and they were still able to get it done. Do I see a path in which David Montgomery can get 1,200 and Jahmyr can get 800? Of course. I think it's possible. Now, they were both healthy, which is part of that, but I do think if both are healthy, that can be done. I do. That's a backfield that can go for about 2,000 yards on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I still do believe that he's going to get the chances. I mean, just looking at the numbers here, 588 pass plays to 480 rush plays. He's still going to get those chances. Like, obviously, Jamal Williams last year had 262 carries. That was with DeAndre Swift hurt. Both of these guys are going to be healthy, splitting carries, coming out of the backfield. So I am with you a little bit, Jeff, but then you do have to consider, too, he is going to be kind of in the slot. He's going to be he'll be on the field with David Montgomery in chances to get the ball as well. So, I mean, 1,500 yards to me isn't crazy. I'm really interested, to be completely honest, because Brad Holmes, obviously with Jahmyr, Brad Holmes was going to take him 6 overall no matter what. Whether they were able to make that trade, we saw it in Inside the Den. He was going to take him at 6 no matter what. This was his guy.
Could you imagine if the Lions took Jahmyr at 6
over
with Bijan still sitting there, Jalen Gardner?
But that gives me so much confidence in Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, I don't even have to look at the film anymore. I just have to look at what Brad Holmes, like, what was his mindset? And his mindset was, this guy he's a dog. He is the Kamara. He is the Jamal Charles. He is that next level guy. Obviously, Bijan's going to be great. Congrats. Atlanta, have him. We have Jahmyr Gibbs. who I personally think, if you look at the whole offense, catching, everything else, I'm still convinced Jahmyr Gibbs has a chance to be better than him. That could be crazy. That could be crazy to say.
I think, Booner, you were with me. I was like,
That
not
could be
one
crazy.
of the only ones, but when we took Gibbs at 12, I was like, I like this. This is like a sexy pick because this is one of those things where it's just like, if this works out, you got your Back to the Future, and that's going to help out a whole lot when you got Jared Goff and a
Jeff,
rookie
before you go, what's the
Hooker.
biggest number one thing when a lot of rookies don't make it? A big percentage of rookies in the NFL, even first-round picks, they end up not making it. Bijan's going to be a great back. He's going to be a Pro Bowler, All-Pro in his career. But Jahmyr Gibbs right now is in the perfect position to go out there and do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Bijan's in Atlanta. They're decent. They're not great. They don't have a great quarterback. They don't have a great OC. Jahmyr Gibbs is in the perfect position right now to outperform a Bijan his first year in the league.
I disagree with that, but I understand why.
Respectfully.
No, I do. Listen, I love the hype. I love the excitement. I love Jahmyr Gibbs too. I think as a receiving back, he's the best receiving back in the draft. So there's that. But if you're talking about,
you see all those clips of Bijan.
But if you're talking about like, well, let's get to Bijan, shall we? If we talk about who will have a better year, I don't think it's no.
Okay.
I mean, Bijan's gonna be in that David Montgomery type of role. Well, he'll get 20 to 25 carries a game.
We'll see at the end of the season.
Jahmyr won't. Like, it's not that Jahmyr doesn't have more talent or factually stated. Bijan will have a better year.
Okay, that
doesn't mean Jahmyr won't be good. It's just the usage.
Rushing wise, true running back, yes, Bijan.
I think receiving, Bijan could get 300-400 this year.
Not
I'm
over-
telling you,
but
you're sleeping on what he can do as well.
And I agree with you because Bijan is an underrated receiver. But do you think Bijan's going to have more receiving yards than Gibbs?
Now that's a debate. I think Jahmyr can get him in receiving yards.
See, that's where I think it kind of even. I'm with you though, especially year one with Arthur Smith. I think they're gonna just absolutely
Dude, he was
pound Bijan, especially like Arthur Smith. Look what he did with Derrick
Who's
Henry.
going to be behind the best offensive line?
I
No,
know,
Booner, we're not
I
saying that. We're saying
yeah.
year one. Like, honestly, think about it. Tyler Algier was nice, but David Montgomery, he's definitely going to get a lot more work than Tyler Algier. Bijan Robinson, Arthur Smith made his head coaching career out of just going, here, Derrick Henry, take the ball against the weak AFC South. And I guarantee he's going to try to replicate that whole thing with Bijan Robinson against the NFC South. And they don't have a good quarterback, to your point, so they're going to be running the ball a little bit more. And I'm not saying, I'm just with just exactly what Jeff was saying. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a stud for us year one. In year two, could he have a better year than Bijan? Absolutely. But I just think as a rookie, the game speed, Bijan's going to have it slow down quicker. So he's going to get more touches right off the bat. He'll be running between the tackles more. And, yeah, it's not like Jahmyr's a scrub by any means. I love Jahmyr. I think Jahmyr is going to be a top 10, 15 back year one. But as far as being better than Bijan, no, I think Bijan's going to have like a Zeke rookie year in my opinion.
We'll see by the end of the year.
I can see that.
I love your confidence, Booner. Don't
you.
get me wrong. I'm siding a little bit more with Jeff.
Yeah, well, thank you. See, I just thought the Kool-Aid was flowing this morning.
Jeff was taking an L left and right. All the boys were.
No, honestly, I'm the only one with any little bit of objectivity. Like,
No, I'm with you, Jeff.
What?
I
Just
love,
not with Marvin Jones and DJ Chark.
Like,
We
I
disagree
love.
there.
Listen,
You
I
just
love.
didn't listen to anything I said with the Marvin Jones conversation.
No, I love the Lions, but like, I gotta just put a little stop in the Kool-Aid sometimes with you guys.
I will
That's
agree
all.
that I will sit back. I'm not.
Like, you're gonna sit here and say Jahmyr will have a better year than Bijan. I don't think
I'm
it's.
not saying he's going to. I'm saying it is very much possible.
Just say it. Is he or is he not?
It's very possible. Let's talk
what
about.
percentage would you give it, Booner?
50-50.
Oh,
I think they're right there together. And I understand he's going to get more carries, but go look at Jahmyr Gibbs. How many carries and how many receptions will he get each game?
I think you're onto something with the
And who's
with
better
the
after
receiving.
who's after
Receiving,
catch?
you're 100% right.
Yak yards,
Receiving,
yak
I would,
yards.
yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs will take a little screen pass, 80 yards. Saw it at Alabama. He's going to be better
Facts.
in the NFL.
But
He
what
will
I'm
take
saying-
80 yards,
Booner.
and that's
Dude, there's
Booner.
going to be games where Jahmyr gets like 10 rushes. That's going to be like if Bijan gets hurt and he pulled out at halftime, he's going to have 10 carries.
okay. But how many catches? How many catches?
I bet he has like 3-4 catches a game. Bijan. Gibbs
Oh,
is going to have
Bijan?
like 6-7. And then he's going to have probably like in between 5 to 10 rushes. So he's probably going to get like 11 to 15 touches a game. And he's going to be very productive with those. Could he go over? Yes. But just at the beginning of the season, probably like 10, 15, 20 touches max right off the bat. Bijan's going to be getting 20, 25 carries, touches a game.
Okay,
and
that's fair.
that's where I'm like, okay, I love what you're saying, Booner. Maybe if we didn't have David Montgomery and we still had Jamal, I'd be like, yeah, you're onto something.
That's fair. Let's look at the end of the season. I would love for us to sit down and have a little meeting in the conference room.
All right.
And let's not total yards. Let's look at yards per carry and yards per catch, and let's do that. And shout out to Joe Westfall. Breathe, Booner. I'm breathing.
You're
If
getting a
you
little
haven't
flavors
noticed,
there.
this is what I'm
It's
like
too late.
24/7. I have not taken a breath since I was like 1 year old. This is how I am.
It's too late to breathe for Booner. He's already suffocated.
I woke up going like this.
Booner's the
It's
most
okay.
ADHD head you'll ever meet, and he's probably already had like 2 or 3 coffees in him, so there's no slowing down that
I am on
train.
my second right now.
Yeah, his leg just won't stop moving right now. His
Yeah,
leg is
that is
jittering
true.
right now. But I love him. I love Booner. I'll tell you what.
Now his legs stopped because you called him out.
It's all good. Okay, well, the Jameer and Bijan thing, I love Jameer. I'm not saying I'm unhappy with the pick. It is what it is. All I'm saying is Bijan, man, he'll probably have double the total carries that Jameer will have. But, hey, both going to be great players, no doubt about it. When we get back, I want to bring up something that Jared Goff mentioned or kind of talked about on PMT, Pardon My Take, the podcast. They sat down with him over the weekend. We'll get to some of his comments and more. But before we do that, Booner, can you tell everybody about our friends over at Swiss Insurance?
Swiss Insurance. Yes, I can. I love Swiss Insurance. But now that summer is here, it is important to make sure that you are properly covered. I'm already covered. You need to get covered, whether it is a grad party, just a group of people over to enjoy the lake or pool. Your liability exposure increases significantly in the summertime. I got that right. Let the Swiss Insurance Group review your coverage and make sure that you are protected from any unexpected loss. Check us out at swissins.com, or you can give Mark a call today at 248-800-4177.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Think you can play some golf? I can. Or if you can beat me, how about beating a professional athlete? It is the Woodward Sports Thursday Night Golf League, live at 5 Iron Golf, presented by Mark White and Associates, spanning 12 consecutive weeks, featuring famous courses from around the world, played on the state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators. In 5 Iron Golf's new 25,000 square foot facility in downtown Detroit, do you think you can beat Darren McCarty on hole number 12 of Augusta National? I might be able to. What about outperforming Braylon Edwards on hole number 8 at Pebble Beach?
Ooh.
Do you have what it takes? I know Booner does. I do. Yes, I do.
Third
5
person
Iron
Booner
Golf.
does.
Check it out.
You forgot you were Booner.
You were
I
Yeah,
messed
for
up.
people that don't know, Booner speaks in third person often. I don't know where
Booner,
that
what
came
were you
from.
telling us about the Booner movie the other day?
I do. And listen, fellas, it's game week. It's game week for the Lions. We're back, baby.
Speak on it, Boone.
For
Give the
what?
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, this man, it's already too late.
It's game week. We play Friday. We just realized that. We all just talked about it off air here. We play Friday. We played the Giants on Friday. That is the most exciting. We get to watch the Lions football.
Yeah, it's the Kool-Aid.
I cannot wait.
We're already drinking the Kool-Aid, but now they get to play, and preseason starting, joint practices are starting. I'm excited, bro.
We have battles, kicker battles.
Wow.
Backup quarterback battles,
Kicker
maybe.
battles.
Oh, actually, never mind. Not backup
Not
quarterback.
yet.
I thought maybe a hooker was back. But
no,
we have wide receiver
Nate
battles with Denzel
By
Mims.
the way,
No, we're not talking about Nate Sudfeld.
No. I want to say, from what I've been reading, Nate Sudfeld's been struggling in practice, man. So,
has
Teddy
he?
Bridgewater, give him a phone call. It ain't too late.
We hope to God it's not Adrian
Time out.
Martinez.
The whole Teddy
Good
Bridgewater
God.
thing. I had a conversation with Broder the other day, and Gabby, you've been at training camp. His comments about the Nate Sudfeld thing was spot on. Nate Sudfeld, he said, basically is just a worse Jared Goff. So when you think about it, if a Jared Goff, like if you need to put someone in for him, you would want a guy like Jared
I
Goff.
disagree.
That's what.
Yeah,
hey, this is
but-
report
Because you're
from
plugging
Broder.
him, yeah.
Broder texted me. I was talking to
Don't
him.
use Broder.
No, he knows it. If he's in the chat, me and him, I asked him. I said, what do you think about Sudfeld and Teddy Bridgewater? He says, I feel like Sudfeld is very, very similar to a Jared Goff, just not as talented. To where Ben Johnson's drawing schemes up. if he's already learning this, he's been there for a half a year last year, how hard is it for a guy like a Teddy Bridgewater to come in and have to learn a whole new system? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's with any quarterback. It's like being like, oh, Carson Wentz comes in. Now, Carson Wentz doesn't know Ben Johnson's offense.
Did you see Carson
I'm
Wentz
just giving an example of of a guy like Carson Wentz come in. Like, you have to learn the whole thing over again. Sudfeld's been here for 8 months.
Yeah, well,
yeah, but he's
and Nick Earl said it. He's not a go-to guy. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, I'm not going to sit here and call for, we need Carson Wentz, we need Teddy Bridgewater.
We definitely don't need Carson Wentz.
You know what Sudfeld is, man? Like, Sudfeld,
he's like me. He's just reliable, you know? If you need me here, I'm here.
No, not for that reason. I'll tell you what. Sudfeld, and you talk about teaching, the scheme to Teddy Bridgewater. I'd rather do that because one thing you can't really teach is just skill. Like Teddy's just better.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I'd rather him learn the offense.
But then you have to look at schemes after that, and it's okay. Can he fill in that Ben Johnson scheme?
Of course.
That's just my question. That was what me and Broder talked about. Wanted to throw that out there.
But regardless, just to kind of speak on that, Nate Sudfeld, Brad Holmes, just call Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not saying sign him to this expensive deal. All I'm saying is to have a guy like Teddy backing up Jared, just to have him as an insurance policy. I'm telling you what, I'd be more confident with Teddy Bridgewater going into it. Not saying because people are going to say, well, Jeff, you're planning on Jared to get hurt. Just saying, it's an insurance policy, right?
Yes.
He could be out for a couple plays.
Swiss insurance, you need it.
Swiss insurance, you need it. He could be out a couple plays just to have Teddy Bridgewater there. I'm telling you, people don't think about a backup till you need a backup.
Trade for P.J. Walker. It's my boy right
TJ
there.
7.
P.J. Walker's
Tim
Gardner Minshew, Jacoby Brissett, Teddy Bridgewater, all names that would just make me sleep better at night as a Lions fan.
P.J. Walker, because of the throw he had to DJ Moore
P.J.
for
Walker
the game winner.
has been a dog. He's as far as a backup quarterback, he's one of the best in the league. And I think a backup quarterback, in my opinion, I think prime example is in Arizona, how Colt McCoy somehow performs. I think when you have a quarterback, like, for example, Kyler's a mobile quarterback. When you bring in a stagnant quarterback, now the defense has no clue what to do. And if you do vice versa, I think if the Lions were to go get kind of like a mobile-ish backup quarterback, I think when say Jared Goff gets hurt, that whole defense game plan is now changing. So if you get that, I think that's what the Lions need to do. I get that Nate Sudfeld is like a mini Goff, but at the same time, I don't think that's necessarily a good thing.
Right, and PJ is reportedly, people are chiming in here, and he is a part of the Bears. He's backing up Justin Fields, so damn, the Bears got him, right? How unfortunate. Wow, I never want to see PJ put fear in my eyes. He did technically whoop the Lions' ass when they faced him with Matt Patricia, though. Was that Matt Patricia or was that first year of Dan? I don't remember. I think it was Matt Patricia.
I don't even know.
They beat the Lions like 22-0 or something like that.
Same thing.
Regardless, P.J. Walker, backup quarterback conversation. Go get me Teddy Bridgewater, please. We'll go to break. When we get back, it's What's Trending with Lucas. Then we got mailbag, so get your questions ready for that. But before we do that, I got to tell you about a Guardian Alarm, an elite defense that I think will be top 5, if not top 2. And I ain't talking to number 1, the best defense. It's Guardian Alarm. Customized solutions from real experts. They got 24/7 professional monitoring, and they have technology backed by people. All you got to do is call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Tell them your friends at Woodward Sports sent you, and call the number, 1-800-STAY-OUT.
But 2 vehicles of your choice. One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Well, before, really quickly, Gabby's got to tell us about our friends over at Mark White, and then we'll get back to the show.
You ready, Gabs?
Mark White, fantastic. We're so happy to have him and his team aboard. When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time? for any reason with no penalty. That's exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
We're back here on the morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Don't forget, guys, if you're watching, hit the like button. We'll try to get to 225 likes by the end of this segment. Hell, even 250 if we can get there.
250 and
there's
those
plenty
tips
of
on
people.
Booner go blonde.
Well, I'll get the spray and we'll go blonde. 300. I'll do some up downs, down ups, Dan Campbell style.
See, that's what I love. Booner's
30 of them.
He's all in, baby. He's
Let's
all
go.
in.
Dedicated to the grind.
But you know what time it is. It's that time of the day. Lucas, what do you got for us today?
All right, baby. We already kind of dropped a hint. We are going to get into Booner's high school mixtape here in a second. But first, I didn't even see much noise of this, but Amon Ross St. Brown and CJ they went on Family Feud, and they were dropping some heat. So I got 2 segments of it for you. Here's the first one.
Something that's round and white. I know number 2. What's number 2?
Volleyball.
Yep. Snowball. That's what I thought, but then.
But snow is flat though when it rain.
Snow is flat.
When it go, when it snow hit the ground, be flat.
Chauncey, if you pick it up and do it like that. Now you from Detroit? You up there in Detroit?
I'm from Florida, so I never seen snow.
Oh, you ain't never seen snow?
I seen it melt, flat, gone.
Melt, flat, gone. Number 2. 200 men admit it. Name something you see a woman eating that turns you on.
Banana.
Yep. Hey, but Chauncey, why you try to act like you shamed though? Banana?
Number 1 answer. CJ does not miss. I think the way that he broke down everything, the awareness, the IQ, all pro on and off the field, and he knows what to look like when it comes to the female food. I mean, does it get any better than bananas, you guys think?
I'll tell you what, he got game, but he got game.
Tell you what,
I'll tell you,
me and Chauncey, we think alike. That one and the snow one, I would probably
what do you
say
love
the
eating
same.
bananas or what?
No, but
I was talking
about the snow.
I didn't know what angle you were taking.
I was talking about the snow.
Oh.
We
JB,
have the same minds, you know.
There you go.
Me and Chauncey think alike.
I didn't know Booner, he loves eating bananas.
JB, you got any input for this?
All I can say is I watched that Family Feud episode last night, and honestly, I was dying when the whole CJ said, "Snow flat, melt, gone."
He really? What? Hey, is he wrong though?
He's not wrong, but then again, he is from Florida, so he probably doesn't see snow a lot.
Was he in Philly for a year?
Yeah.
Philly had snow.
But yeah, but to his point though, like snow doesn't fall from the sky in snowballs.
That's fair.
You know, you got to make a snowball.
Yeah, who would think of snowball in that?
Gabby,
scenario?
did you have any thoughts?
Snowball.
Did you see the Family Feud?
Was it?
I didn't see the Family Feud. I remember when they filmed this a while ago.
Yeah, I think
because I remember
obviously
seeing all the
pre-recorded.
pictures coming out and being like, "Oh my God, this is great." I feel like we didn't see it like anywhere that it was going to be on last night.
No, yeah,
it was social a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
What about this? What about this comment? Jake says, "How did a banana that you bite into top a popsicle?" Though I don't know,
Well,
man.
I think it's just the whole
that's fair.
It's a very realistic looking, like it's got the curve.
Okay, why do you gotta like do?
I'm just saying,
okay.
it's just
Why
what,
do you
that's,
gotta,
what,
like,
that's what
break
the
down
context is with it.
I'm not breaking any of this down.
No wonder Booner loves bananas, man.
Speaking of Booner, it's the time we have all been waiting for. We can't play the audio because I'm sure he's got some like Meek Mill or
March
something.
Madness.
You got March
Yeah,
Madness.
we got
on it.
copyright, so we got.
But here is the almighty Booner's high school mixtape.
This is not.
Wow.
Booner buckets.
Forget
Oh,
I
jeez.
am that guy. And I was that guy.
That
He
fade
goes,
out
I
right
was
there.
that guy.
Oh yeah.
Imlay City. Booner. That's you put on for Imlay City though.
Look at this. Little left-handed floater.
Hey, that's left-handed floater.
No one knows about the left hand. Killian.
Take it to the.
Look at this. 30-footer. Easy. League range.
Yeah, that's.
Shoot it!
He got that strap.
Look at this,
Give
another
us a
one.
little drop here. Give us a little beat.
Oh,
Bang.
defender sleeping on him,
Easy.
dude. Yep. That's another one.
Oh, wait.
Hand down.
Another 30-footer?
Oh, don't put the hand down. That's man down. Yeah, that's a man down right there. Okay, Boone, in transition.
Look at that pass.
Like a young C.
Killian isn't making that pass.
No, he's well, he
Look at
probably
this.
is.
Another 30-footer. Why not, Booner? Another
Well, probably
little elevator screen.
It's so
Bang.
funny seeing how
Nothing
small
Look at
but
this.
it
Look
is.
at this. Step back.
Oh!
Let it fly.
Booner, that was nice.
Booner, you even left a hand up too. That was kind of
Hey,
cool.
JB, I'm like that. I'm
He's
trying to
Steve
tell
Blake
people.
out there.
I've been trying to
Paul
tell
Thomas
people.
says, "Is that Booner or Steph?"
I'm trying. Look at that. Run back. Dang. I should have looked at the coach.
Hey, Elway. Hey, Elway.
Tag someone who can't guard.
Elway says that looks like Steve Blake out there. Yeah, Steve Blake.
Yeah, and I'm fighting people too.
Yeah, that's Steve Blake, man.
Look, I don't miss. Look at this. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Is Killian Hayes doing this? And
Booner,
one.
oh, he almost got caught and won though.
Hand up.
So what?
I think I hit 7 threes in that game. Fun fact.
Oh, that's funny.
Booner, how do you feel that your high school mixtape right now has 800 live viewers?
I love it.
No.
People know who I am.
Well, we did just lose 30, so I don't know where a lot of people went now, but hey, it is what it is. Booner's a dog. Adam Baydoun chiming in says it doesn't count. He's playing against a bunch of white people. What do you comment? Emily City, do they got dogs out there?
Still getting buckets. The ball's still going in the hoop.
Well,
he's not wrong.
Does anyone in this room think they can beat me in a shooting competition now?
Yes.
What?
No.
I think
I just wanted to see your
I
reaction.
am the best shooter at Woodward Sports, minus
Lindsey Hunter.
Lindsey Hunter.
Yeah, no. I mean, I would love to challenge you. I would love to.
We could do that. I'll challenge. I'll go up against everyone at Woodward minus Lindsey Hunter, or I'll go up against Lindsey too. That'll be like my final, like going through a video
That'll
game.
be the boss.
But we gotta do
Humble
both.
you
We
a
gotta
little
do
bit
a
at the
shooting
end.
competition, then a 1v1.
So
Okay, let's schedule the 1v1 at
contest.
different times so I have time to work out a little
You gotta
bit.
prepare now. Like what?
Yeah, 1v1, dude. If I ran across this Woodward right now, I probably would be tired.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. You got anything else?
I had
for us, Lucas?
chicken wings for dinner last night.
I mean,
Chicken wings
What
for
are the
dinner
other
last
ones?
night.
I mean, I do, but we'll save it for tomorrow. Let's get into some mailbag. We'll be back tomorrow at 9:40 with what's trending. But back to you guys.
Let's do it. Let's get to mailbag. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our friends over at Dispo, because this Friday, heavyweights will be down there, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. You can join them and the Dispo family live at their Hazel Park location on August 11th. Come prepared as Dispo Dispensary takes your cannabis experience to new heights. Located at 634 West Nine Mountain Road, Hazel Park, Michigan. See you there for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz and the Heavies live August 11th at Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
How would you like to win a $100K Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and you're entered to win the 100K Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best versions of themselves. All you got to do is visit drinkcintron.com/Vegas. All right, we're back here. Last 10 minutes of the show.
Football game week.
Game week? I guess you can call
Sam
it that.
Laporta debut week, baby.
Sam Laporta debut week.
Jameer Gibbs. Jack Campbell.
It's
Brian
that time.
Branch.
Brian
There
Branch.
are other rookies on the team other than Sam Laporta.
There are.
There is, but just not
clarifying.
many that are going to be as impactful in their careers and be a Hall of Fame first ballot like Sam Laporta.
So let's see here. John Lord says, when was your ratings and viewers live watching for a week was this high? John Lord, well, of course, the last couple weeks it's the dead time, but now the season's picking up. So
It is game week.
It is game week, so we expect the viewership to go
Football.
up. But again, it wouldn't be possible without you guys, so we do appreciate you guys for supporting the show. Shad says, mailbag, what was Booner's shooting efficiency? That's a very important stat to people in Michigan.
I might bring my stats out.
Okay.
I might be on ESPN or there's a couple websites out there that have some stats from me in high school.
So Adam Baydoun asks, who should I draft at 8 in my fantasy football league, Bijan Robinson or Amon-Ra? Well, I would say Bijan Robinson. But again, depends if he's gone, because Amon-Ra would be the choice. But you can't deny, dude, as a running back, Bijan might be one of the better fantasy running backs year one.
Yeah, I think personally, I would still go Amon-Ra. Catches, like we've talked about this earlier. Amon-Ra St. Brown will have 9 catches, and he'll have 9 receptions, 9 targets, and he'll have 9 points, a touchdown, 80 yards. Bijan could do that. Bijan can run for 100 yards and get 1 touchdown and not have any catches and get less than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Give me
I don't think you can go
Amon-Ra.
wrong with either. I think Amon-Ra's primed for a breakout year. And last year I had Amon-Ra, and he ate in my leagues.
How many yards do you think he's going to get again?
I would say 1,300 at least.
What was the actual answer? Wasn't it like 1,500 you said?
No, I said at the most. I think he'll get 14
If he
if
gets
everything
15
goes right.
and like 10 touchdowns,
But
that's
I think
very
he's
valuable.
good for another 100,
120
150
catches.
yards. Yeah, if he's healthy, of course. Now, let's get to this question. Jamcat, mailbag, take your daily opportunity as a media member to roast J-Mo. No, I will not.
Me either.
No roast J-Mo.
We have J-Mo love over here.
Yeah, we do.
We love
This
J-Mo.
is and again, it's not like he's absolved from criticism, but I think he's unrightfully criticized sometimes. So this show, we like to speak truth about Jameson Williams and at least get the narratives that we think are the right narratives out there. There's no doubt about that. Jesse Adams, mailbag, week 0 of college football starts in 17 days. Are you guys going to actually talk about some college football before it starts? Yes, we will. We will be talking about college football. We'll be actually having a college football pregame show and Lions pregame show that, we're all going to have our hands in. So that's going to be the bigger.
We do have some other things that will be announced too the next couple of weeks. A bunch of streams, a bunch of different things that we're going to be doing.
Weekend content?
Yeah, Saturday is college football, a lot of streams. Sunday, the same thing. So we have a crew already we're putting together for that stuff.
And just to get to some mailbag here, Eric Allen mailbag, would you rather have Wentz come in as a backup over Sudfeld? I mean, yeah. I mean, Carson.
Let me find this picture real quick.
And again, before
was funny.
Before Booner says, "What, you love Carson Wentz?" No, I just think he's better than Nate Sudfeld.
He is, yeah. No,
Okay.
I mean, I agree.
But will they do it? Will they do it? No.
If you do it, you have to go and do it like now. I feel like you can't just wait and then do it. Like I would rather have a guy like him in now to learn the system, work with work with Ben Johnson, work with Jared Goff, these guys, and kind of get used to that. Wait till like week 6 or 7. You're like, let's just get another guy in here.
What about this one, Dante151 JB? How surprised are you that Brock Lesnar hugged Cody Rhodes after their match this past Saturday?
I'm not really surprised at all. I mean, it was unscripted and unplanned. Like the match ended, and afterwards, Brock took off his gloves and did the honorable thing by shaking Cody's hand, and eventually they just walked around the ring, him holding his arm up, saying, he's the next one up to be champion. So I'm not really surprised at it at all. Just I think Brock is kind of on the downhill of his career in WWE as it is. So
I love that. The JB photo, as his camera's not working, is just the most stud photo ever of JB.
He's bulled up.
Yeah, no, he's
and he has. They can't see the SummerSlam shirt on.
Yeah, I know. He's got a SummerSlam shirt. He's got the merch on. I mean, we just need JB's camera back, and he'll be back in the mix.
Look at the likes too, by the way.
Yeah, we get 18 more.
Likes are doing good.
His hair.
70 more somehow. Down ups. That'd be awesome.
Eric asked mailbag, will Jack Campbell win Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Probably not.
Probably not, but again, him and Jameer, I think, are sleepers.
Yeah.
If you told me Jack won it, I don't think I'd be shocked, but I just don't think he will this year. Doesn't mean he won't be a great player.
These guys are in prime spots of being able to do that.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's see here. Herb Nash, Jeff Booner, have you heard anything about J-Mo being sent home? No, I have not.
Nope.
Gabby, is that a real thing?
No.
Okay, I haven't heard anything
Not
about
from
J-Mo.
what I've heard.
Not, and let's see. Stephen Gould, mailbag. Other than Goff, who would be the single biggest loss if they went down for a year? I would say Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Or Aiden. Aiden Hutchinson would be a big one.
I'm saying Panay.
Really?
Well, no, because
if Jared Goff goes down, you got a backup quarterback. Now you got a guy that's not protecting
other
the
than
backup.
so Jared Goff doesn't get hurt. He's still in.
I would say Aiden.
Aiden or Amon-Ra, depending on what side of the ball. I see what you're thinking, Lucas.
Like Goff needs time in this offense. Like he can have him on Ra, but if he's not in a clean pocket, he's going to struggle regardless.
But then you can make the argument then Taylor Decker, right?
But
left tackle.
But Panay Sewell.
No, I'm not saying
compared to Taylor Decker.
No. I'm not saying, but I'm saying who's filling that void in for Taylor Decker. I mean,
it'd be the same thing. I'm just saying Panay's way more important to this offense, especially when it's a run blocker and how dynamic he is and how mobile he is. Like it would hurt in the run and the pass game.
No, you're right. He's better. My point is the offensive line entirely. Like if Frank goes down, there's still worry. But Panay is the best one, obviously. So
Hutch is a good one. That's a really good one.
Because if Aiden goes down,
you're expecting at least we talked about it last week. I'm expecting 13 to 15 sacks. Who replaces that?
No, nobody. Not on this roster, unless James Houston comes out and is the second coming of, a Hall of Fame defensive end. I don't know. He could be double-digit sacks.
Are you saying
we'll see.
he doesn't have a chance to? I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not saying. Yeah, Jeff, are you saying there won't be 15 Hall of Famers on this team? Yes, I am saying that. Unfortunately. Let's see. Bob Johnson, we need to draft a new center next year. Yeah, that's probably coming down the line. Because Frank, as solid as he is, you got to have that position filled. Evan Brown was kind of the Swiss Army knife of this offensive line, but he's in Seattle, so he is not here no longer. Let's get to one more question.
Another one?
Jesse Adams, can you ask Sid if he wants to bet that James Mitchell will score more TDs than Laporte in the first 3 weeks for 100 bones?
Yeah, I'll bet that. I'll bet that with a
Shake
smile
right now.
on my face.
Camera shake. Well, not me. I'm not betting that.
James Mitchell more TDs than Sam Laporta in the first 3 weeks for 100
unless there's
bones.
Injury, it doesn't count. Like if Sam Laporta does something in preseason and get hurt. But I would happily take that bet.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, whoa,
Lucas,
Coach Walk.
What did James Mitchell have last year? 1?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stand my ground on that.
Yeah, I remember 1 specifically. I don't know what he had in totality. I want to say he had 1. But I don't want to double check
that. Like 200 yards.
Yeah, he had 1. Yeah, he had 1. Yeah, no, that's right.
Coach Walk here real quick. He said, I want to see Booner eat 10 of the world's spiciest wings instead of up downs or frosted tips. I will say, every Sunday I go with
3 more likes and he dyes his hair. 2 more likes.
Oh, 1 more now on my end. But on Sunday nights, I go with my fantasy football team, which like my cousin, some other people. We go to B-dubs. I set myself up. I'm a terror. I cannot eat spicy things. No. And I made my own challenge to where every week I was going to go a couple spices up. Yeah. I got all the way up.
Boone.
What?
250.
We got 250. But I got all the way up. I failed. Long story short.
Oh, we hit at the shot clock.
We hit at the shot clock. Ray Allen at the buzzer. It was Bosh Allen.
At the end of this week, probably Friday or Thursday. Thursday we'll do it. I will get the spray so I can get it out for work, and we will do frosted tips.
Here we go.
And that's the end of my show here this week.
Well, we appreciate every single one of you for supporting the show, sticking with us on this Monday morning. Thank you, Booner, for doing a great job.
Thank you guys all. Thank you, chat.
Booner, you did a great job.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I feel like I'm like the substitute teacher that has to leave now.
Booner, you are
sad.
You are our 6th man. You are.
Thank you.
You're going to be here whenever one of us is out, and more than that, you'll be more involved in more Woodward sports stuff. I mean, you guys already crushed it on socials, which I think the best social media team in Detroit, dude. Like, we got dudes. But also more than that, Lucas, Booner, you guys are going to be more involved on weekend stuff, so I can't wait for that. But until tomorrow.
Thanks for the love, Hefe.
I got you, baby.
Love
until
you,
tomorrow.
Thank you all.
We'll see you guys. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Check out our website. Again, latest news, articles, updates, and merchandise for everything. Until tomorrow, we'll see you guys. We appreciate every single one of you.
Football!
Deuces.